for adventure, and whatever comes our way. Hey, yeah, driving gonna make it happen. Take the world in a loving embrace. Fire all of the guns at once and explode into space. Like a true nature child, we were born to be wild. We can climb so high, never wanna die. Born to be wild. Born to be wild. One, two, three, four.
All right, welcome back to Full Throttle TV, and tonight we've got the Gearhead Coffee Grand National Series here in the Xfinity car at Full Throttle Sim Racing. We'll be live at Charlotte Motor Speedway tonight for 200 miles, 150 laps of action. This is the first race of the season. I'm Dean Brissett. Brad Patterson in the booth with me tonight. Brad, looking forward to getting this series rolling tonight.
I think it's going to be a great night. You know, we got a lot of racing ahead of us. It'll be the first race of this season. We got some newcomers into this league, new sponsor. You know, everything's looking good for this season in this Xfinity car.
Yeah, everything's new, man, but everything is not done. I mean, we have memories from last year, Brad, and we have memories of a guy named Bobby Terrell being extremely good in this car, winning his third championship in a row, currently showing 7th on the practice board here.
Bobby's a world-class driver. You know, he's always going to come with his A game. He's going to put in the necessary time to make sure that he's got the track figured out. He's got a good set underneath him. But you know what? There's going to be some challengers, some new names to the field. You got Sean Powell in the 1 car, Scotty Reinshield in the 24. Both of those, they're very good drivers, so as well as the other veterans that are in the series.
Yeah, like you said, a couple of newcomers there as we look at Scotty Reinshield here. Looking good out here tonight. Currently, actually, he's 7th on the board, moving ahead of Bobby Terrell on that practice board. Looking like, again, we're going to be extremely competitive. Sean Powell on top. Brad, a familiar name. Last night's winner in the Truck Series, Bernard Person on the board 2nd.
Yeah, all these guys here are going to do really well tonight. I think, you know, it's a matter of being able to put the laps down and really get ahead of everything.
I mean, we got Tim Bill, Zach McDaniel, guy challenging last night as well. A little bit of a surprise there. See, Stephen Lewis in the 17. I got to stop saying a surprise. Stephen Lewis, much improved driver, Brad, looking good here. Part of Blackwater Motorsports, starting to assert himself here. He's been around for a long time and just keeps getting a little bit better each and every year.
Yeah, they really are. And I think some of this is just some familiarization. Everybody's kind of, you know, got their wits under them, got a little bit better at the tire model, got a little bit better at the aero package we're currently with. But you're getting significant gains. You got 20 of Russell Charneski. He's turning some good laps. Jerry Cooper Jr. towards the front of the field. Ronnie Royal, Brian Bliss, James Torrey. You know, all of these guys week in, week out, they come out and they come ready to compete. So I think we're going to be in for one hell of a race and one hell of a season.
Yeah, we really are, man. I look forward to it for sure. Always look forward to Charlotte as well. Let's get into our keys to the race here. We're staying clean early, tire management, qualifying. These same keys we had for the truck race, but I think tire management has proven to be the one and almost only thing here, Brad, is, you know, not only the tire rule, of course, you know, 3 sets in the garage, 1 on the car. These guys, if there's wrecks, they're going to be, you know, choosing whether to pit or not to use up those tires. But also on these runs, more than likely long green flag runs, how do you burn them up? How hard do you drive? These are all big concerns for these guys.
Yeah, they really are. You know, just like all of these sets, generally you can fire right off and you're going to burn up that right front, and unfortunately the car is going to fade at the end. It's going to also be a matter of strategy. You know, if the caution comes out, do you go ahead and do you take that set of tires? Do you hold on to it? Do you come down? Do you take fuel only and try to save a set for later? That's going to be some of the decisions that some of these newcomers are going to have to face for the first time.
Yeah, they really are going to have to face those as we look at the race weather here. Track temp, hard to believe. 121 just dropped down as we switch over to qualifying from 121 degrees, Brad, dropped down to 104. Now we're back up to 122. I'm not sure what's going on with the track temp, but an extremely hot track by the current looks of it. It's reading at 122 degrees.
Yeah, that's really going to make it difficult for some of these cars as they go through their runs tonight. You know, they're going to obviously lose grip, probably get a lot more loose. So it's going to be interesting to see who can keep up with the track, see what kind of coverage we get as the race goes on, get a little bit more rubber laid down, and if that track temp's going to either go up or continue to fall.
Yeah, it's going to be key. I mean, I don't think anybody would have practiced for this. I could be wrong, but this is like the old days of FTSR here. Having these hot, slick tracks should make it more interesting. We look in at the race analysis here, 150 laps, 225 miles. My mistake, I said 200, it's 225. So we got a mile and a half oval, 24 degrees banking here in the corners. And this track, opened in 1960, Brad. You know, we've talked about it before. What a classic track Charlotte is.
Yeah, this really is. You know, this is in the hometown of 90% of the NASCAR race shops, so it's a bit of a home race. You know, we've got the famed Coca-Cola 600 run here, the All-Star race, but you know what? Tonight, it's all about these guys right here in the Gearhead Series and FTSR Racing. They're going to put on a show.
Oh, they most certainly are. And, you know, we're going to get right back to that show. But for now, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with the race.
We are back at North Wilkesboro, North Carolina, where the field is rolling out for the start of today's 400-lap race on this .625-mile racetrack. And just as the field comes all around turn number 4, the sunshine peeks through, helping warm things here. Bill Elliott leads him down. Benny Parsons on the outside. The green flag flies, and the first Union 400 Winston Cup race from North Wilkesboro is underway. Everybody nicely through turns number 1 and 2 as Bill Elliott has the lead and Dale Earnhardt has jumped into second position, followed by Benny Parsons and Bobby Allison. So here we go. It's just about to go away. They both coming out of turn 4. Earnhardt gets the lead. We had just heard from our spotters that Neil Lyons. Dale Earnhardt is on his last lap. This will be his 24th career win. Dale Earnhardt wins the first Union 400 in North Wilkesboro. Welcome back to the Gearhead Coffee Grand National Series, sponsored, of course, by Gearhead Coffee here. Great bunch of guys over there. Please go check out gearheadcoffee.com. I'll show you a little bag here of their coffee. Nice looking bag. Go over to the website. They've got all these different types of coffee. Brad, they look super cool. They taste even better. Man, they got good little company over there.
Oh yeah, I mean that bag is it is awesome, and especially for a racer. You see something like that, it gets you going. So I'm sure the coffee will do the exact same thing. I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Taking a quick look over at the board here, we see our rookie, Sean Powell, currently on top, looking strong. I mean,
Yeah, I
that's
think
quite a
that.
gap, Brad, from first to second there. I mean, that's a fast car he's got.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, he was blistering fast in that car right there. Seems that he's probably been able to handle the warmth a little bit better as far as the track goes. But like anything else, you know, you can turn a really fast qualifying lap. What's going to happen is we're going to have to see how he does in the race and see if he ultimately just burns it up too quick.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, back to the Gearhead coffee thing, you can also pick up a 10% discount by using the code currently shown there on the screen. So go and use that code. Grab yourself a 10% discount. Also, Brad, the winner will receive a free bag of coffee, and our halfway leader at 75 laps is going to grab a bag as well.
That's really great, and we really appreciate Gearhead coming out, sponsoring the series, and you know, giving these guys something to race for, especially halfway. And you know, really looking forward to having them on for the entire season, and it should be a great one.
It really should. As we look over the starting lineup now, I think we'll get right into that with Sean Powell currently showing on the pole, looking really good out there. Like I said, very impressive time. On the outside of row 1 will be the 77 of Tim Bills, who's been really improving and showing that he's got the stuff to pull off a win here. The very familiar Bobby Terrell will start in 3rd place. Bernard Person, another great driver, last night's winner, will start in 4th place. Terry Cooper Jr., last night's pole winner, he'll be starting 5th tonight. And we look for him to rebound from a little bit of trouble last night. His teammate is Stephen Loomis in the 17, starting from the 6th spot. In 7th, Jared Carr, who was in the booth with us last night. He's looking good in that pink machine there. The 24 is Scotty Reinchild. He'll be starting in the 8th spot. In 9th is the 81 of Ronnie Royal, part of that powerhouse Team Spear over there, looking good. TJ Bartel will be starting in 10th spot.
In the 11th position, we're going to have Christian Swanson. Currently going to be rolling off 12th. We're going to have James Torrey in that beautiful looking red, white, and blue scheme. Followed by Brad Fink in the 13. Longtime racer here, Sherwood Williford's going to roll off 14 tonight. The 83 of Jason Spears is going to be 15th, followed by Mickey Spears 16th. Brian Helmer, front runner all night last night. Be rolling off 17th. 18th is going to be the 42 of Zach McDaniel, last night's winner. 19th is going to be the 20 of Russell Charnetsky. And in 20th, we're going to have the 71 of Casey McMullen.
And as we look at the rest of the field here, we've got Long, Gerringer, Bliss, Hannah Hensley, Powers, and Spear finishing out the field. Very strong field, I might add. Looking forward to the start of this one. Well, Brad, they're finally lining up here, coming around the turn, just about ready to get going here. These guys, you know, all the points are even here, the anticipation building. They got to be really amped up for this.
You know, race 1, night 1, they're ready to go. The belts are tight. We're coming down. Pace truck's off.
Green flag, green
Yeah,
flag.
great start by both guys there, really side by side. The one powering away a little bit better on the inside. Sean Powell will lead him down into corner number 1. Tim Bills will find his way down the track into 2nd. Bobby Terrell will squeak up to 3rd. And Bernard Person currently in 4th place.
Yeah, as our leaders get a little bit single file going down the backstretch, we fan out about the 6th position. Sean Powell's able to eke his way out front in front of Tim Bills. Puts that machine right on the bottom. He's looking very good through the corners. One of those questions, you know, we know he was extremely fast in qualifying, but will he be able to maintain that speed through the entire run?
Yeah, I mean, he's got speed. Sean Powell just out to a blistering start, gapping the field here. Unbelievable. Tim Bills is trying to chase here. You know, he's had that early run speed, Brad. We've known him to do that. Can he have long run speed? We're not sure. But we know someone who's done extremely good things here in the Xfinity Series, and that's that 4-car of Bobby Terrell.
Oh, he really has. You know what? He's comfortable right now. He's sitting in the third position. He's about a second back to our leader right now. But, you know, that 4 car, he's really getting set up. He's probably taking it a little bit easy to let tire temps come up. Make sure that he has a little bit of tire left for the overall long run. As the majority of this field is strung out single file right now. Everybody's just seen that they're going to ride out and see what they have under each other. I mean, it's a hot day. They're probably wanting to make sure that they don't overdo it, especially right off the get-go.
Yeah, these track temps, man, these tires will burn up in a hurry. That's something you don't want to do. I mean, it's going to be unbelievable tire wear here. As right now, we've got Brody Hanna, league owner, joining us in the booth. Brody, we're off and starting here in the Gearhead Coffee Grand National Series.
Yeah, guys, thanks for having me. And boy, I tell you what, my nerves are a little shot too watching this. I know it's slick and tough out there for these guys. They're doing a good job though so far. Looking forward to a great season. We did have Gearhead Coffee come on. Really excited about that, and we're doing some special things for them, with them this season.
Yeah, it's great to have them here. We're showing the guys a discount, and those coffee bags, man, you gotta love those coffee bags. They're beautiful. I want to win one, but I can't win one up here in the booth, Brody.
Yeah, the design's awesome. Every winner of each race this season, every race is going to be broadcast to you guys. Every winner this season is going to get a bag of that coffee of their choice, courtesy of Gearhead Coffee. So that's awesome. It's great for them to do. I appreciate them doing that. And we're actually doing something special tonight too. I'm sure you guys probably already mentioned this. The leader at lap 75 halfway, the league actually is going to provide a bag of coffee to the guy that leads halfway, as long as he doesn't win the race.
Oh, you can't get 2.
No. Can't do 2. But we will give it to the second place guy if the winner leads at halfway and goes on to win the race. We want to spread the share the love, spread it around a little bit.
Absolutely. No, it's fantastic of you at FTSR doing that for the people. And you know, I don't know what it is, man, but I just love those bags. I can talk about it all night. But back to the race. Sean Powell right now, Brad, opening up this lead, looking very impressive out here.
He really is. You know, he's been able to pull away up to about a little bit over a second, 1.3 seconds on Tim Powell. Bobby Terrell still sitting there about 1.8 back. He was being challenged by Scotty Reinshield ever since Scotty has kind of fallen off the back of that. We're still single file through the majority of the field. It looks like these guys are really content and just riding it out, see what their tires are going to do. But man, Sean Powell just came right out of the game.
We see there Reinshield, Bobby getting a little bit up the track, maybe on a bump or something, and the 18 almost getting into him. Actually, that's Scotty Reinshield. He's shown on our leaderboard in the 24 for anybody to be confused by that. Showing on the 18 on the track. We'll get that fixed by next race. But he's looking strong out there. But Brody, you know, we looked in on the track temps and that. We're talking about 122 degree track here. My goodness, it must be slick as heck out there.
Yeah, I saw that when I came in, and I was a little surprised by that. The air temp's only 78, but the track temp's 120, so I'm sure it's a handful out there as we see the battle for third place there. I think Ryan Shot's going to get that, but I am interested to see the tire fall off. I mean, it's going to be huge, I think, here, and you may see some comers and goers later on the runs.
Yeah, I think a lot of guys learned a lot last night. They've learned a lot through the last season with this new tire model, and you're definitely going to see some comers and goings. I look for a guy like Bernard Persson for one. He's just been kind of lurking here in 5th place. Last night's winner, you know, obviously doing great things over there at Team Spear. I think he'll come forward. And, you know, we have several known tire savers. I mean, Casey McMullen, not sure where Casey's currently showing here on the track. He's way back. Yeah, 22nd place. But, I mean, I would say that's because he is saving a great deal of tire.
Yeah, and it may come into play here. Like I said, I think that's going to be a big factor here. I'm interested because I did see Sean jump out to a pretty sizable lead there, almost 2-second lead right now. I just wonder how much he's using those tires and if he's going to come back to these guys here shortly.
Yeah, another guy I'm wondering about, Brad, has Terry Cooper Jr. learned his lesson? Last night, sitting on the pole, got out to a nice little lead, you know, fought around the lead a long ways, but then fell off dramatically. Has he learned something sitting back here in 6th place, learned a little patience?
You know, I think with the temperatures being the way they are, with the simple fact that last night the way it was, I think he's kind of in a little bit of a cat person. He's just riding around. I think he's buying his time a bit. We expect this to go green, as most of these races here do, but on the unfortunate event that there is a caution, you want to be close enough to the leaders. And what better person to follow than Bernard and Bobby in all reality? I mean, if you keep distance with them and you're able to keep pace with them, generally speaking, you're going to be in a very good situation. So it's
we got contact. Sorry, we had broke in there. The 11 getting into the I don't know if that was the 11.
You got a slow car, looks like it's 22.
Sorry about the call on that, guys. We did catch it live, so you'll have to let me know who that was exactly.
That was 22 was in contact. He's kind of got some right side damage and slow on the backstretch currently.
Yeah, he's showing an 11 on screen, but it's actually the 22 car, and he made some contact with the 17. Looks like of Steve Loomis there on the straightaway.
All right, well, a little unfortunate there for one of our rookies, but in general, the rookie's looking good out here tonight. Stephen Loomis, of course, having a great runner, great start so far, so I hope he recovers from that as well.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, that happened right in front of our leaders, but it just tells you and kind of shows you the class of the field here. I mean, that happened right in front of a group. Everybody was able to navigate their way through it, safe and sound.
Oh, and TJ Bartell has turned to 7. Jared Carr around and into the grass. TJ just got into the back of him there. I'm not sure what caused that. Probably a bit of a checkup in this hot, slick track. But Jared Carr through the grass, he's going to be all right. He's going to have a little damage on the back end. I imagine the 98 has a little on his front.
Yeah, we're getting to that point of the race. We got 15 laps into it, so this is right at that time where we start really losing grip in some of those tires. So if you look at our leader, actually Sean Powell, it's starting to lose a little bit. Tim Bills, he's pulled the lead back to just at 2 seconds. So Sean Powell, he's looked invincible this entire race so far. Was able to check out. He's starting to show a little bit of vulnerability.
And guys, just to recap on that last little incident there with the 7 and the 98. Looks like the 7 got loose off turn 4 there, was trying to save it, and T just didn't get checked up in time and got turned around there. So just a small little incident, still green, and we'll just continue on here.
10-4. As we look back here at Stephen Loomis, Brian Helm, and Russell Chernowski as they battle it out on the track, it looks like the 26 looking for some racing room down low. Not sure he's going to find it. Looks like Stephen Loomis is going to move up the track and let these two go by.
Yeah, it's still very early in the run. You're not really going to risk anything right now. Risk versus reward just isn't there. Don't burn up your equipment. We're right at that point where tires are starting to do something. It looks like 17's got a little bit of damage on the side, maybe some mild contact with another car. So I'm sure Loomis is just going to sit there and ride it out and see what he's got.
Yeah, right now back up front, Sean Powell opening up a lead here. A little over 2 second gap he's got to Tim Bills. Tim Bills starting to be reeled in by Scotty Reinchild here in the 18/24, and he's looking pretty strong here. He had that little run-in with Loomis, but it has no ill effect on the car so far, Brody.
Yeah, he's looking good so far. I just put up another 10th there, so 2.1 up on Tim. Yeah, Tim's doing a good job too. Tim, we haven't mentioned much last season, but he jumped up here, started second tonight. Currently sitting in second, doing a good job. They kind of lost that rookie status. I talked to that team actually, the whole team over there, and they were kind of happy to kind of get that off their shoulders, off their back per se, I guess. Lose that target and kind of get in here and start mixing it up with these guys.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. I mean, nobody really wants to be labeled a rookie. I mean, especially when you're a veteran of sim racing, but you're a rookie to FTSR, so you got to earn your stripes. And Brad, these guys, the majority of the rookies have shown themselves to be great drivers, and not only great clean drivers, but fast drivers as well.
Yeah, they really are. And you know what, that kind of puts an emphasis on what Brody does here. Vets the drivers, make sure that the drivers are people that are going to run respectful. Not necessarily be the fastest, but at least be courteous and know what they're doing. And that's one of the things that makes this league here at FTSR such a great one to be a part of.
Yeah, it's absolutely correct. If we look back on Mickey Spear here, back in the 13 car, and around him you got Gerringer making a bit of a move. The 43 of David Hensley's right in there.
Yeah, it looks like we actually got James Torrey's actually on his way to pit road right now. So looks like he's got a little bit of right side damage, a little bit of left side. So I don't know what happened to James Torrey, but unfortunately he's down pit road with some damage.
It's unfortunate to hear. Really early pit stop here on lap 22 of 150 as Sean Powell continues to extend this lead up to about 2.5 seconds now over Tim Bills. Tim Bills, like Brody was mentioning, just doing a great job. I mean, he's been fast. He was fast last year. The question I have to you, Brody, is has he learned about the green flag racing we do here at FTSR, and can he save those tires a little better?
Well, that's a question that's going to have to be answered over the next several laps here. We'll see. Got a little loose there off 2, but we'll see if that plays out. I think what we had Torrey on pit road. So you're going to see some different pit strategy too. And word around the garage too is that these guys kind of have their eye on that halfway coffee deal. So I don't know if you might see some pit strategy to try to lead at halfway for that. I don't know, but that might mix things up a little bit too.
We look back in here, speaking of tire saving or long run drivers, you know, Bobby Terrell making his way around Scotty Reinchild here, taking over that 3rd position. Bobby Terrell, 3 consecutive championships here in the Xfinity Series. I mean, this is a dominating driver. He's back in 3rd. You got to think he has found the way to get around this track for the long run, Brad. I mean, nobody does it better than the 4-car.
No, absolutely. The 4-car, Bobby Terrell, he's right there. Bernard Persons is now closing up on the back of Scotty Reinchild. And you know what? Terry Cooper Jr., our driver last night, had great short run speed, wasn't able to hold on to the long run. It seems like he's learned his lessons, been a lot more patient this particular race, so he's closing in. So it's going to be really interesting. I mean, Sean Powell, he's a good 2.5 seconds up the road from Tim Bills, but you know, Bobby Terrell, he's starting to close in, and I expect as this run goes, he should only get stronger.
Yeah, we can only hope that these guys here are saving a little tire and get a little stronger, because Sean Russell putting them to shame here so far. Out front now by 3 seconds. That 1-car, wow, he is on rails. I can't imagine that he can keep this pace up, Brody.
Yeah, you know, like I said, we'll see how it plays out. You got a lot of pit strategy involved. If it goes green, you're going to have tire management involved. There's a lot of factors that go into winning one of these races. And when the caution falls, is going to have a big factor in that as well. Just an update on a couple guys. Looks like James Torrey banged it off the wall on the backstretch and pulled in, and his night's over. And the same thing happened to Daryl Spear going into turn 3. He got the wall, pulled in, and his night's over as well. So unfortunately, a couple early retirements there.
Yeah, that is unfortunate to hear. We look around here for a couple of battles, just sorting through the top 3 up to Bobby Terrell, back to Bernard Person, who's also got around Scotty Reinchild now.
Yeah, I
and
think our
behind
closest.
that, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was going to say, I think our closest battle right now is we got a nice little gaggle of cars here between Charneski, Helm, and McDaniels. Currently in 9th, 10th, and 11th, they're running nose to tail. Seems like about every other lap you might get one of them that goes a little bit out of shape. Somebody's able to put a nose under them. They haven't really been able to make any of the passes yet, but they're getting close.
You know, someone who's on the move, someone who was way back in 22nd when we checked into him, the 71 car, Casey McMullen. We know he can do it with the saving of the tires, so here he is. He's in heavy traffic here. He's got the 11 and the 17 right there as he slips on by. And that might not be the official number 11, but he's showing as 11 on the track. And he's looking towards his teammate, Stephen Loomis.
Yeah, a very cagey veteran is going to make sure he saves his tires. Casey knows the only way to win this race is to be there at the end, and he's going to do everything he can to make sure he preserves his car and his tires so that he has an opportunity when this race rolls around towards the end.
Yes, he just makes his way by Loomis there. I think that's going to put him up to 14th place here. Started in 20th, actually dropped back from 20th a few spots. Now on the move, so we'll keep an eye on his progress later on in the race.
I tell you, I wish I could figure out his secret as far as saving tires. I just can't seem to do it out here. These tires are throwing me for a loop, but he's one of the ones, you're one of the ones too, Dean, that can seem to kind of be able to save these tires and run fast. That's kind of the key. And that's tough to do, but I'll tell you, our leader right now, seem to be able to run fast and save tires. He's out to almost a 4-second lead.
Yeah, you wanna find out a trick, you go find out what Sean Powell's doing, because a few of these guys got that figured out. High speed at the start, speed throughout the run, that's difficult. But as far as Casey McMullen or even myself, Brody, I mean, you've seen what Casey did. He started 20th among some of the slower cars, I guess, if we have any, and actually fell back from there. So it's no real secret. Just going much, much slower than everybody, you're going to save a lot more tire. But it's not, it's very difficult. We
Caution
got a caution. We're going to check in on that. We'll pick up that discussion later.
Looks like the 17 is involved, and the fake 11, the 22.
And it looks like a big one, folks. We've got a car in the air here as we get to it right now. The 22/11 on the inside of Stephen Loomis with JJ Spear right there in the mix. He comes up the track, just gets into it, and wow, off the wall into the air. The 18's collected. I think JJ Spear got through. We're going to have another quick look here.
Wow, that 11 went for, the 22 went for a ride there.
Well, maybe the 83's luck's changing because it looks like he got through clean, and that just wouldn't be the case in seasons past. I don't know, that was quite a ride taken by the 22 there. Unbelievable wreck. And just part of, the track here, the tires we keep talking about, as is, we're on lap 33, a super hot track out here tonight, and these guys trying to come out of corner 4 like that, they're going to push up the track, they're going to get themselves in a bad situation. So it's partially track and racing and just race awareness. It's just tough out there, Brody.
Yeah, it is, and we saw it right there. I think that really looking at that, looks like the 22 got a little loose on the bottom, which I don't think he's supposed to be even 22. We'll get these numbers figured out, but anyway, he got loose on the bottom, kind of drifted up, and then the 17 was there, just nowhere to go. But you know what? I mean, it's tough. It's tough to get off floor with new tires, much less these old tires. They had what, 30 laps on their tires?
Yeah, 33 laps on the tires. So I mean, they've got to be wearing way down. As we watch the race off of pit road here, pretty much status quo from what I can tell. And this is going to hurt a couple of people, or not necessarily hurt them, but someone like Casey McMullen, who we were just showing, who was on the move, that's going to end their whole game plan was to go to a 50 or 60 lap run. I'm not sure how many they could do exactly, but that's going to kill that. But I'll tell you one guy who this is going to help, or at least not hurt, and that's that one car, Sean Powell. He's been so dominant out here tonight, Brad. The only guy really even getting up there was Tim Bills. I mean, I guess Bobby Terrell was kind of on the move as well.
Yeah, right there at the end of that run, it was going to get really interesting because Bobby Turrell and Bernard Persons has actually been able to pull right up to the back of Tim Bills. It was getting to that point where those two cars were actually starting to come on, and Terry Cooper Jr. was actually able to get around Scotty Reinshield. So it's going to show you that some of these cars are really set up, where as we go really deeper into this run, they're going to make up some time. Whether somebody's got anything for that one car, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, once we get into a really long green flag run, maybe, but they got to be worried that they can't let them get out to that kind of a lead, or they might not be able to pull it back.
As I look at the amount of laps left, we're going to run a couple more laps. We're going to look at like about 118 laps or so when we go green. Can anybody, or maybe a little less than that, but we got 120 minus 5, so 113 or so laps left. Can anybody make it here, Brody? I mean, on one stop is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think it would be one stop for sure. I think this is going to help people probably make it on one stop, maybe. Actually, I don't really know the deal.
If you're trying to do a one stop, what I'm trying to get at, my point was that, the tires is be the problem. Even if you can make it on gas, can you even save enough tire to get through 60 laps or so of racing?
I don't know. The guys have dropped off. Everybody through the field dropped off over 2 seconds, just over that 30 lap run. So they had dropped 2 seconds slower than their fastest lap. And I'll tell you this too. I was looking at their last green flag lap. The one ran a 30.296. But the 8 car ran a 30.269, so he was a tick faster. But the problem is, you got to make up all that time. Maybe over a long run, you make up that time that you lost on the short run, but the 8 was faster.
I'll tell you what, we're on lap 35, completing 36. And after watching that first set of series there, if those guys want that 75 halfway point, that nice bag of coffee, they're going to have to get up on the wheel. They're not going to be able to let Sean Powell go. This will be go time. They won't be able to save it. So right now you also have that little difference. You have that per diem, if you will. If you want that bag of coffee, you can't save those tires because Sean Powell's going to be there. So you're going to have to be on the wheel.
Yeah, you got to pick your poison there. Do you want to go for that, or are you going for the race win, or some of these guys just want a good solid night too. So
yeah, absolutely. There's a ton of guys out here who had tough seasons last year, and they're really only looking for. They'd be happy with 10th place. Just don't wreck me. Just let me get through this thing clean and still be in it. They're not looking to win. I mean, they'd love to win, I'm sure, but they really just want to get through this. And we're about winning seasons here at FTSR, and longevity, consistency. It's really not always about a race win. We love to win though, Brody.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Everybody loves to win. Everybody wants to be in victory lane, and this season there's a little bit of a perk for winning these races, so it's going to put a little bit more on their table too. But guys, we're going to go back green here. We're going to find out if anything changed here, if anybody made any small adjustments in the pits, and maybe try to stay with this one car.
Yeah, that 24 fired off pretty quick last time. It's going to be interesting to see if he's going to have anything for him, considering he's a little bit more towards the front.
Green, green, green.
All right, green flag dropped. Sean Powell again with a great start on the inside. He's going to gap that 77. He's going to fall into line. Again, the outside line is going to have a hard time. It's Bobby Terrell on the inside going to be looking to take that third spot. I'm not sure he can do it here. Looks like Ryan Child's going to hold him off and take that third spot, put Bobby Terrell to fourth. And you got Bernard Persson kind of getting a little more racy now as well. I think he's seen what happened there. I mean, it might have changed his strategy because he looks like he's chomping at the bit to get through here.
Yeah, he's just not going to be able to hemorrhage the type of lead that he would let Sean Powell get out to before if he's going to have a chance at it. I think he knows what he can do. He knows that he can save tires a pretty good amount to where he's a little bit faster. He might be willing to give up a little bit of that longevity at the long run just to try to manage the gap a little bit better. So it's interesting to see what's going to happen as the majority of the field's got back to single file again. So it's obviously very tough to pass out there with this hot track.
Not only that, Brad, I'm sure they're trying to save tires as much as they can too. I mean, if you ran all out the whole race, you would not make it on fuel. So they know that. They know they're going to have to save a little bit of tire anyway, regardless, in order to make that. If they can make it on the stop, I'm still not convinced they can. I'm not really sure, but I'm sure guys are doing that calculation right now.
Yeah, and Brody, if you're at 10 bills, you've had a very fast car all night. You've been in touch with the leader, if you will, your second best. At what point in time do you guys kind of shift that strategy where you're like, well, can I make it? Or can that short pit really help me out over the long run? I mean, have these guys really gone through that scenario to see what the lap time was, the drop off? I mean, as you said in the last session, we dropped over 2 seconds of lap time over 30, 35 laps. So, pitting early and getting some of those, they could be making possibly 2 seconds a lap faster than their opponents.
And it only, in that point, it only takes you 15 laps to make up a lap. So 15 laps, to make up a lap. Well, that didn't sound right, but that 15 laps would be 30 seconds with a 2 second fall off. And the thing too is that's only 30 laps. These guys are going to be longer than that, a lot longer than that if this goes green.
We're just riding along with Bernard Persson here for the last couple laps. You can see the way he's driving. He gets into the corner so much better, and he has to kind of let off mid-corner, and then Terry Cooper Jr. gets off the corner a little bit better than him, and he has to regroup again. So they're on a real battle here. They're both driving slightly different here. It's interesting to see whose tire wear will be better with their driving styles.
I hope it doesn't get wetter out there. I know we've had a lot of rain at Darlington, so let's keep that there. Everything looks bright and sunny here, though. I don't think it's going to be a problem.
Yeah, you know, I wonder how much of that has to do with the aerodynamics of this build and with these cars. You know, you got the 8 car that's really tucked up on the back of Terry Cooper Jr., so you got to think that he's losing a little bit of bite off that front nose, and he's not necessarily going to be able to rotate the center of the corner, so he's having to take just a slight little bit of a difference of the line, or possibly pushing just a little bit on the exit of the corner.
You got Russell Chernowski there getting by the 81 of Ronnie Royal. Take that spot away, put Chernowski up to 7th spot.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that. Russ is starting to move up. Russ actually started in 19th, so he's made quite a bit of ground up to the top 10 here. And he was fast in practice. He didn't set a qualifying time, so it almost makes me wonder if maybe he had some issues in qualifying because Tim Bills is actually his teammate there. So Tim running second, Russ just trying to get up there with him as well.
Russ looking good out there, doing a good job. As we check in on a few other guys, looking on TJ Bartel here, currently running in 9th spot. He's got Zach McDaniel behind him. Zach, one of the dominant drivers in the truck series. We'll see what he can do out here in the Xfinity series. Looking pretty comfortable just riding around in 10th right here, right now.
Yeah, Zach's been really good in trucks, and he wanted to try his hand at Xfinity, and I think he signed up for Cup as well, so he's going to be running some different series with us. He has been really fast. He'll be a tough one to beat, but he's going to have to get in position if he's going to have something to say about it tonight, because, again, looks like Sean's out to another 2-second lead.
We got another battle back here between Brian Helm and the 12 of Will Long. Will looking for a little racing room here.
Yeah, Will had a good run last night. I think he finished 7th or 8th in the trucks last night here at Charlotte. So he's kind of taken to this track. He really likes this track. He's done well here. Just again lacking a little track position, but he actually started 21st, so he's up to 12th already. Another one of the guys moving towards the front.
Yeah, looking really good out here right now. So we check around on a few more yet. We look in on Sherwood Williford. He's running back here in 13th, just minding his business here. You know, I've kind of nicknamed him Mr. Top 10, Brad, and 33, so consistent out here, running that good wrench car. I mean, he is always going to end up in the top 10.
Yeah, he is one of the most consistent drivers across all of the leagues really here in FTSR. He's always going to be a consistent driver. He's a safe driver. You know, if you want something, you want to put your money on somebody who's going to finish the race generally, and not only are they going to finish the race, they'll be in the top 10. You know, he's one of the sure bets, if you will. Right behind him currently, we got Casey McMullen in that 71. Again, another fine driver. Started in 20th position, currently in 14th. Was starting to make his headway on that last run. Another guy that really excels at saving the tires and making his run late in the race. Jason Spears got a handful of race right behind him with Matthew Geringer as he's getting by him. Tracy Powers is working on him. So, you know, there's racing all over this field.
Yeah, and one thing I know we have highlighted some of the guys moving towards the front. One guy that's kind of, or two guys that kind of dropped to the back that unfortunate. 7th place, and he started 7th place in the 7 car. Jared Carr, he had that issue on the front stretch. He's back in 21st, had an issue. And then Steve Loomis, of course, involved in that accident there. He started 6th, but he's looks like he's probably going to finish 24th tonight.
Yeah, very unfortunate for Carr and Loomis. I know Loomis was qualified well and was looking good. I know Jared was feeling like he just wanted to kind of stay out of the way tonight and make his laps around here. He had some new equipment he was dealing with, so he's got to be disappointed. And how often do we see that, Brad, where guys who just want to ride, just want to stay out of the way, and really their only thing is be safe, and they get caught up in a wreck, not really of their own doing. It's just so unfortunate sometimes, and unfair.
It really is, and sometimes that's just the luck that you get. You know, sometimes being aggressive, you can actually kind of get away with something a little bit more. You know, you tend to ride around in the back. How many times have we seen it at, you know, super speedways or something like that? You don't get in there, you get aggressive, you ride at the back, and you still get into the incidents. Right now, we got a great battle on our hands right now. The 25 of Terry Cooper Jr., Bernard Persons is still all over the back of that car, and he's looking for a little bit of racing room. Charnetsky is right behind him, also waiting to pounce. It seems like the 8 car is really starting to handle a little bit better on the bottom side. 25 seems to be just pushing, especially a little bit more 3 and 4, the 8's really got a little bit better turning.
Yeah, the battle's starting to heat up for second too, and guys, don't look now. The last 2 laps, Tim Bills and honestly Scotty right there too. Both those guys have run a 10th faster than our leader. I don't know if Sean's maybe saving or losing the handling. And again, there's another 10th off, so they're starting to reel him back in.
Yeah, Sean definitely did not check out like he did in that first session. They've been able to maintain that gap a lot better, and it could just be a matter of the guys know what they got under them as far as tire. They know what kind of tire wear they have now and a realistic race setting, and they're going to push it just a little bit more and not let them get away.
Yeah, very interesting to see him losing time this time around. I'm not sure if he's being cagey up there and saving a little something for later this time. Maybe he's seen his tire wear and said, oh my God, we did 30 laps and I have nothing left. Don't know. We'll have to play it out and see. But Tim Bills continuing to close in on our leader, as well as really 3rd, 4th, and 5th as well.
Yeah, they actually mirrored times that time, so it's kind of balanced. It's kind of stabilized now. But I'll be interested to see if maybe Sean's saving a little something, or the handle went away, or what's going on there, because I'm pretty sure he didn't want to lose the lead at this point.
And as we were talking about that, the 8 of Bernard Persson has made his way around Terry Cooper Jr. in the 25. So Bernard Persson in that Hellman's car on the move here once again.
Yeah, Bernie's another one. He again, the winner of the truck race last night. He can sneak up here and be a real factor here. I'm sure he's just kind of laying low and kind of doing what he needs to do here as far as saving tires. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see him be a contender here very shortly. You know, we saw him start moving towards the front before that last caution. So.
Yeah, we got Russell Chernowski now working on the 25. I don't know if he's quite up to the same speed that the 8 was, but he is right there in that spot as well.
Teammate Zach McDaniel behind him as well, but both those guys started 18th and 19th, moving up in the field. Like you said, Tim Bills being a teammate of theirs. We know they've got speed because Tim's currently second, and again, Tim took another 10th off last lap.
Yeah, I'm starting to wonder if, the pace is quickened, and in that first run we saw Terry Cooper Jr. really be able to maintain the gap and hold off a little bit. And it could have been just the fact that the pace was a little slower. This particular session, it seems like the pace has picked up. Sean Powell has not been able to get away nearly as much. He's actually, they're actually starting to pull him back a little bit, but at the same time, Terry Cooper Jr. seems like he's having a little bit of struggles. It could just be the little bit warmer weather and maybe a bad adjustment. Still running a very respectable in the 5th position right now, but looks like the car's starting to go away on him.
Brad, as I think about it, could we have some strategy at play here? Back to the 1 stop versus 2 stops. I mean, is it Terry Cooper Jr. backing up thinking about 1 stop? Is someone we know, if anybody's going to do it, is Casey McMullen Sr. going to attempt a 1 stop? Like, how big would it be? Is that why we've seen the increase in speed in this run? Maybe these guys are like, oh, I'm going to do 2 stops, so I'm going harder.
That's a very good possibility. I mean, everybody kind of knows what they have out of that first run. Now you know how hard to push it. At the same time, it could be the same thing with that 1 car. Sean Powell might just be that much faster than everybody, and he knows, hey, I can afford to back it off a little bit to make sure I have the car at the end. So, there could be games, there could be strategy that 4D chess, if you will. Who knows? We're gonna have to wait and find out.
Well, guys, I'm going to step out and see if I can get an answer to the fuel mileage question. I got a couple teammates in the field, and they'll know right away. So I'm going to go see if I can find out in the pit, see if there's actually an opportunity to go 1 stop here.
All right, that'll be really interesting. Brody Hanna heading down to the pit stalls to get the info for us, Brad. I think it's going to be key. I mean, I hate to single out Casey only here, but I don't know anybody else who would try this, and I know he would. He's always thinking less stops. He's always going to manage his tires and his fuel. So he might just do it. And if he does, there's literally no chance if anybody on 2 stops, if we go green, can catch him.
That would definitely be an interesting bet. What he's got to worry about, though, is Casey McMullen's currently over 9 seconds back already. And he's got to not let Sean Powell catch him up, because as we know, there's a 2-second difference between fresh tires and old tires. So he's going to have to manage that gap too in order to make that work.
He is, but I mean, the amount of time you lose on a pit stop is so huge. I think you're looking at per run. If you only had 2 runs, if Casey was to lose 12, 15, 20 seconds even per run, he still would be ahead. So it's a big call. I don't know if he can do it. I mean, I can't wait to hear from Brody and find out.
Well, guys, I just talked to him, and I'll give you verbatim what I was told. It's close. So, we got a game on our hands.
We got a real game, and like I said, the only guy I can think of, maybe you can help me, Brody, is Casey, and I don't want to keep singling him out. There must be others that would consider a single stop.
Yeah, I think if you're running the top 5, even maybe top 10, especially with Russ the way they're running up towards the front, I think they're going to have to probably do 2 stops. But you may have some guys back there saving, maybe make a 1 stop for sure. And if they planned ahead enough, I have to go back and see if maybe some of these guys topped off on the last caution too. Those would be the guys I'd kind of watch.
Yeah, I think that you're really looking at William Long, Casey McMullen, and Sherwood Williford. 3 KG veterans. If somebody's going to do it, they're far enough back to where they could have been saving the entire time. Again, they're all right there with Casey, so that's kind of what we're going to base that off of. If somebody's going to really start from the get-go, because all of those kind of came out together, and they never really tried to get to the front. They just kind of started off slow, and they just, because let's face it, if it was close, you had to start from lap of 1 to make sure that you had enough fuel in the tank to be able to make it. So it'll be very interesting.
So what else is interesting here is when our pit stops, because we have something coming up in about 10 laps, and that'd be our halfway winner would get that Gearhead coffee bag, Brody, and that's only 10 laps away.
We don't want to give the Gearhead coffee to the Gearhead coffee car, do we? I don't look like anybody's going to have a challenge for him right now, but looks like he's kind of stepped out right now. You're right. So 75, I think they'll make it to 75. That's not a question. The question is how much longer can they go after that, or how much longer do you want to go at that? And honestly, too, the second place battle becomes even more important. And you see how strong the 1 car is. If he goes on and wins the race, the coffee for halfway goes to second. So you're going to see these guys try to hold on for second place, too.
I got to tell you, we were just watching.
77 loose off the nose of the 24 started actually.
And that's what I was going to say, Brad. The 1 was awful loose as well. These cars, so we had an accident on lap 33. We're about 33 laps into this run. Cars are starting to give way already. I mean, I don't know how long these guys can go. We were looking at around the 120 to like 113, I think, was the run left, the amount of laps left. How do they break it up? Around 40 laps, a little less? Or do they go that whole 56, 57 laps? I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see how that plays out, but I'm telling you right now, Player 3 and Player 4 has just joined the battle for second place. Bobby Terrell has pulled up on these guys, and right behind them is the aide of Bernard Person. He's going to give a run to these guys. It's Tim Bills and Scotty Ridenschild as they battle for the second place.
Right at their time during the last session, this was the time that they really started making headway. That caution unfortunately came right at the wrong time, because Bobby Terrell was able to pull right up to the back of our. Oh man, these guys, the 77 and the 24, they're racing hard. You see the 24 pushing up there, having to get out of the throttle, and it's going to open the door for the 4, Bobby Terrell, to pull right up to the back of him. He's there. This is a 3-car battle.
You're looking on some of these messages here, and we see Baron Labasco watching here, a great Xfinity racer. I shouldn't say former, he's still here, just busy with new jobs. Brody, he says he wants a bag coffee.
Yeah, I know, and we may be able to do that with our viewers at some point. We got a little thing coming up, maybe a little bit later for later in the season, maybe next race for the guys watching the race. So keep tuned in for that. But Barron said he wanted some coffee, and he told me he was interested. I thought he might show up for some of these races, but unfortunately, it looks like he wasn't able to make it tonight. He was a great competitor. It's a shame we don't have him out here, but I'm glad he's watching and enjoying.
And we're looking for a move here. The 77, so the 24 is Scotty Ronchild down to the inside here. Way up high is Tim Bills in the 77, and he's loose up there. Almost losing it, gathering it up. That's going to let all 3, including Bernard Person, get through there. Wow, 77 held on there. Great job by him.
Absolutely, yeah. He had a handful right there. He had a handful of steering wheel. He was kind of high. He was pretty high there, and was kind of.
Yeah, it seemed like his car just really hit a brick wall right there at the end. The last couple of laps, he was really losing time to Sean Powell. Sean Powell in the last 4 laps was able to step it out to over 3.5 seconds. Now that Scotty Rancho in the 24 has gone by, it's going to be interesting to see if he's going to be able to close up that gap, and it's going to be interesting to see if Bobby Turrell in the 4 and Bernard Person in the 8 is really going to be able to close it up. I'm really interested to see what that 4 car can do.
Yeah, battle for seconds. Just kind of let Sean Powell step out here. We're 3 laps away, and we get the 24, the 24 in second, Sean in first there. But Bobby's, I'm sure he's still saving tires probably. He's
But I'll tell you what, in 2 laps that Scotty Reinschild's been able to get away from Tim Bells, he's already put 0.3 of a second into Sean Powell. So that's another 0.2 that lap. So he's faster than our leader currently.
That's very interesting, as I just did a quick check back on Casey McMullen too. The one guy I think that might try it. I don't think anybody can do it from the way I'm seeing his handling. But he's made his way up to 11th, so he's hanging in there.
Not even can. Do they want to do it? You know, these cars are a handful. They're hanging on. Do you even want to try to make it a full fuel run with the way these cars are driving?
Yeah, I don't know if you do or you don't. I mean, I think you do, bro. I think 1 stop versus 2 is just, you could lose, like I said to Brad, you could lose 20, maybe more seconds per stint and still win this race. It really doesn't matter with that 1 last stop, but can you hang on to your car? Can you save it and not crash it? But right now, Sean Powell leading the way. Going in, that's lap 74, so 1 more lap here, and he's going to be our halfway winner, and he's going to get that coffee bag that everybody's looking for.
If he doesn't win the race. But if he wins the race, he gets coffee. Basically what you do, you leave halfway, you get a bag of coffee. You know you're getting a bag of coffee anyway, one way or the other.
I'll tell you what, he's looking at that bag of coffee. Some other competitors are looking at this race as far as a win. We got the 42 on pit road. We got the 6 of Brad Fick on pit road. Some strategy happening. Ooh, as the leader gets very loose on going through the dog leg.
Yeah, he's been very loose for 10, 15 laps at least. Sean Powell, our winner of the halfway coffee bag from Gearhead Coffee. Make sure you go check them out at gearheadcoffee.com.
Absolutely. Make sure you use that phase 210 code, spelled out phase 2 and then the numbers 10. Get 10% off there too. Great guys, great website too. Great design. You were talking about the design of the bags. Love that too. So glad to have them on board, and hope they're enjoying the race too.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope they're enjoying this race. As we look back now and try and check in on Scotty Reinchild, currently in second. Take a look back at Bobby Terrell, still holding pace. Really, that gap has stayed the same. We have the 8 of Bernard Person hanging in there as well. And he's got some lap traffic there. Jared Carr, I think, got some fresh rubber there. He's looking mighty racy. After this, we got Bernard Person. We got Terry Cooper Jr. sitting in 5th. We got the 51 coming on pit road.
Yeah, pit stops are starting to happen for some of the guys that are really looking for some handling issues. 42, Zach McDaniel, he's probably the first car on lead lap. I should say 1 lap down. He's got fresh rubber. He's getting ready to go ahead and complete his first lap at really speed. I'm going to kind of see what we're doing here. He's turning, it looks like a 31.5 to our leader, Sean Powell, doing a 32.2. So not exactly a huge gain. Definitely it is a gain, but not one that's going to be considerable enough to where you're really going to be able to make a lot of time up to unlap yourself and to get in a really good contention. Sean Powell's just putting on a blistering pace.
He is. Right now I'm looking in on Russell Charnowski as he comes in on Terry Cooper Jr. He's looking pretty strong still. And a little information needed on that 51 car. If one of you guys could tell me who's driving that car, that'd be great. Seems to be another number issue.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, and we see that, wow, Chernowski just getting a run through the corner there. Almost going too hard too soon there. Had to check up a bit. Terry Cooper Jr. going to hold on to that spot, that 5th place spot. So pit stops, this is interesting. With 71 to go now, we're looking at nobody pitting really from the lead yet. And I mean, any time now, we're on 71 to go. I mean, I think they're all thinking one stopper maybe.
Yeah, it certainly seems that way. You know, Sean Powell's actually stepped out his lead a little bit. Scotty Reinschild was able to dig into it a little bit, but since then he's actually lost about an additional second. Bobby Terrell is sitting about 5.5 seconds back, and Bernard Person a little bit over 7 seconds back. So, you know, I expect to see some of these guys to come in and try to make a little bit of magic, if you will, give it a little try. But you know, it seems right now that they're content with riding it out, make sure they get to their pit window before they come in.
Yeah, absolutely. It's that way. Sean Powell, we're just watching him on his leisurely stroll out here in this nice lead. My goodness, impressive job by this Gearhead car, the number 1 of Sean Powell. Excellent job. Scotty Reinschild currently in second place. You got Bobby Terrell sitting in third. Bernard Person in fourth. Terry Cooper Jr. continues to hold on to 5th place, but he is under a heavy battle here. He's got the 20 of Russell Chernowski right there, and the 77 of Tim Bills, as Tim Bills looking for a little racing room here.
Yeah, it looks like the brush got a little loose there in the travel, or in the dog leg there. Kind of got all checked up and everything. I think he's a little bit faster than the 25, but man, it's tough to pass out there.
I'll tell you what, you know, a car to be on the lookout for is that 71 we were talking about. He's the king of tire saving, Casey McMullen. He was able to just go ahead and get by the 81 of Ronnie Royal. And you know what? He's only got about a second, a little bit over a half a second to Brian Helm and to Tim Bills. Tim Bills a little bit further up the road, but that 71 still looks like it's handling very well. Very racing. He's able to control the car right on the bottom as he's getting ready to pull up on the back of Brian Helm. He's definitely one of those guys that you assume is going to go for that one stop.
Yeah, he probably will, and it's looking like everybody will, to be honest with you. I'm not sure at this point, but the 71, I'd be interested to see his lap times. I imagine he's one of the fastest guys out here. I mean, it would be a lesson to know if tire saving is actually worth it, to see what speeds he's running compared to Sean Powell.
He is currently faster than our leader. He is currently running a 32.3, a 32.5, and our leader is running a 32.4. So he is one of the fastest cars on the track currently.
Guys, don't lose focus either. We had some guys pit just a few minutes ago. The 42 of Zach McDaniel pitted, Brad Fink pitted. Those two cars decided to go the short run route. So we'll keep an eye on them and see if maybe that pays off too.
Yeah, it can pay off in a couple of ways. I mean, you're going to need a caution, in my personal opinion, but if they come out at the right time, you could be the leader. So excellent choice, I think. Anytime you're not in the top 5 or so, I think you got to try something different. I applaud those who do. And we're on 65 to go, so I really think everybody's trying to stretch it the distance. Super surprised at that.
Well, and the thing too is you got to remember, even without a caution, you guys, if you're running 2 seconds, over 2 seconds faster than the leader around this track, for 15 laps, you made up a lap. So, you know, you only have to do that twice, and you'll get the opportunity to do it twice with fresher tires. So, I don't know. I don't know what the right call is, but listen, I've been told this several times. If you continue to follow the leader, you're going to do exactly that, follow the leader. They're trying something different, and again, I'm like you. I applaud them because you're not going to beat them heads up. You got to try something.
Definitely, and you got to put that in the heads of the other people. As we see Tim Bills skate way up the track, perhaps letting that 26 go of Brian Helm. We haven't given Brian Helm a lot of airtime tonight, but he's looking pretty good here. He's just moved his way up to 6th place, and he's a bit on the move now.
Yeah, it really is. And closing in on the back of that 77 of Tim Bills is Casey McMullen, one of our fastest cars on the track. He's currently in the 8th position, looking to be in 7th going into turn 3 and 4 here. It's going to be very interesting to see what type of position he's going to be in once he does come to pit road. You know, he could be right inside the top 5 when it is time to pit, you know, so this strategy could have very well worked as the 42 of Zach McDaniel is obviously one of those cars that pits, comes right in the back of both of them. So you're going to be able to really see the difference between fresh tires and a little bit older tires as the 71 of Casey McMullen goes to the high side, go ahead and lets him go through.
add Will Long again to the list. There was only 3, so it looks like it's Zach McDaniel, Will Long, and Brad Fink that decided to pit early. So those 3 are going to be the ones to watch and see how. Of course, Zach's kind of out in front of these other 2, so we'll kind of measure where Zach is versus where Sean comes out when he decides to pit and see how that works out.
Yeah, absolutely. And Sean Powell, I mean, he just continues to ride around on rails. He's got over a 4.5 seconds over Scotty Reinchild. Bobby Terrell now close to 7 seconds back. Bernard Persson, our truck winner last night, 10 seconds back.
Yeah, then you're talking about 4th place, so these guys have kind of spread out a little bit, a good bit here. You got 2nd place 4.5, over 4.5 seconds back. You got 3rd place 7 seconds back from the leader, and then 10 seconds back to 4th place. So yeah, I mean, you still have 16 cars. You'd have 19 on the lead lap, but there's 3 cars pitting, so still 16 on the lead lap. And I think it just speaks volumes as far as the competition. Ooh, you see the one extremely loose off turn 4. He almost lost it there, guys, off turn 4. He's really struggling.
Yeah, he really is. And Brody, kind of, you've run these cars in this track this week. Kind of tell us what it is these guys are going through. I mean, it's 122-degree track temperature. We're well into a run. You can obviously see the cars getting slick. I mean, how much are they really having to back off and save their tires versus really trying just not to spin out? I mean, what's the characteristics of this racetrack been this week?
Yeah, it's extremely slick. Even on new tires, it's extremely hard. But even on these old tires, man, it's just you're skating around so much, especially on entry and exit of these corners. Even on the straightaways, the car just wants to slide around. Not to mention the turn to the right, you face down the straightaway, so you just really hanging on at this point. You even see our leader out to a 3 or 4 second lead. You see how much he's sliding around, so that just tells you something.
We're riding with Sean Powell right now, and you can. Oh, I was gonna say you can hear those tires squealing, but he's coming down pit road as we ride with him.
Lap 93, so it's going to put him how many laps? 57 laps on the next run. So
yeah, that's a long run. Now, how many did he put in on that run, Brody? I mean, we started at about lap 6 or 35.
37. 37 is when we went back green.
So right at 60 laps. So about halfway. That's about halfway through the run. So they're going to have to do this all over again. Now those guys that stopped early will run shorter, pit again, and get those fresh tire advantage there at the end too.
So we see Sean Powell, is coming off of pit road here. And he will resume the lead, but it's going to be a while because we got other guys out here like Scotty Ronchild continues to ride. Russell Chernowski now in 2nd. Bernard Persson. All these guys still on the track. Kind of goes to what we were saying. As you see, Casey McMullen has made his way up here into that battle.
Yeah, 24's pitting. He's pitting this time, so it's going to hand the lead over to, I don't know who that, maybe Russ?
I believe it's actually going to end up when we cycle out. I believe it's going to be Zach McDaniels in the lead because, as the one was coming out of pit road, he was still on the apron, and the 42 was able to flash by on the outside. So he's going to have some net gain early, I believe. But I don't expect him to be able to stay in front of the one car very long.
All right, man.
Oh my goodness, caution! Tragedy for the one car.
That's well,
I think
actually
the one's going to be okay.
Yeah, he's on the lead lap. He'll be fine. What it doesn't do.
Who was involved in the wreck, guys? I see the 13, maybe.
Yes.
Okay, as we look in here on the 13 car, coming around the corner, and he is already slowed. That forced Tim Bills to make a crazy evasive maneuver. We're going to have another look at this. Something else has happened here.
Yeah, it's the 13 got loose off 4, it looks like, and was trying to gather it up.
It was a little before that. The 13 driving high in the corner got into the wall, which severely slowed him down. I think he was trying to make pit road and couldn't make it. And Tim Bills had to go crazy to try and avoid him. And that's so super unfortunate for the 77. It's having a great night. and he's going to have some pretty heavy damage there.
I'll tell you what, this falls directly into the hands of the 71 of Casey McMullen. He's going to come in right into pit road as your leader. We know the only car that's pitted recently is going to be the one of Sean Powell, the 24 Scotty Ronsheld. I believe he went to pit road, so Casey's going to come out possibly in the 4th position. He couldn't have scripted this any better.
Well, you know, I think the 24 is actually going to have the advantage here, I believe. He seemed comparable to the one, just unable to get there. He's going to have probably 6-lap fresher tires, and I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but I think it's going to be a big deal.
Now, when did Scotty Ronchild pit? Did he come in right while that caution was out?
I believe he did.
Yeah, I think he was exiting when the caution came out. So
now, one thing to do, keep in mind, the 42 is Zach McDaniel. He was on pit road again, so he's going to have one less set of tires than the rest of the competitors. So if we end up getting a little bit of late cautions, that could definitely play into something here.
You could also see some people take tires here too, or stay out. I mean, there's a lot of strategy to be played here too. We'll see what they do.
We'll see what they do. And for our rookies here, Brody, you think it's hard for us to make a call? Imagine being a rookie here. You have the tire rule. You got a league that really goes green, but throughout the league, you have guys who think about races. They don't just think about how to race a race car fast. They think about the longevity of the race and different strategies. Some of these guys who come into the league aren't prepared for that and get caught out. I'm not saying these guys aren't highly talented like a Sean Powell. I'm sure he knows what he's doing. But these crafty veterans over here at FTSR, man, they can get you sometimes.
Yeah, and you got a couple of veterans showing 1 and 2 here. Brian Helm, Bernard Person. I'm not sure if that's right. I may cycle back around here when we come back around. But
it looks like Helm is creeping around. I thought he might be coming down pit road, but he's going to be behind Casey McMullen.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what's going on here. Looks like we might have a scoring. Well, now Sean Powell showing back in the lead, so maybe we got some waiver. I think we got waiver rounds in front of the field. That's what it is.
So probably Sean Powell at the tail end of the lead lap, I think, or
no, he's the leader. But we've got 8 cars in front of the leader that are going to take the waiver round.
And Sherwood Williford falling back into position. Yeah, a little bit of a hard getting it lined up here, but as it looks right now, it's Powell, Reinfeld, Chernowski, McMullen, Helm, Person, McDaniel, Terrell, TJ Bartell, and Terry Cooper Jr.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting too, because Casey's going to be a little bit closer to the front of the field. Is he going to have to drop back to save tires? If he does he have time to get back towards the front? I wouldn't want to be in his shoes because he's got a fast car on the long run, but in order to do that, he has to save on the short run. You give up so much track position, so much space to the leader, you're going to have a hard time coming back.
Yeah, you absolutely will. I mean, saving you're still going to have to save tire, but you can't save too much. So, yeah, very tricky out here to say the least.
It's really going to work out for Zach McDaniels. That bet of short pitting really paid off for him. It's going to wind up in the 7th position going back to green here. So it could be definitely interesting. Charneski's going to be in the top 3, so he hasn't been this close to the leader, so we'll be able to see if he's able to do anything. And, you know, it's going to be a great restart and a really good last 50 laps.
I'm not sure what happened to Bobby Terrell. Is Bobby Terrell, the scoring is correct on him? I don't believe it was. Now, Bobby currently shown in 8th place. But he is towards the back of the field. I'm not sure what's happening now. Could have got a penalty on pit road. Right now, though, the Gearhead Coffee car is leading the Gearhead Coffee Grand National Series in its inaugural race, their inaugural race. So very exciting for those guys over at Gearhead Coffee.
Hey guys, I just heard from the pits, talking to the guys down there. Looks like the 4 got a speeding penalty, so he's going to be starting from the rear. Unfortunately, that's going to hurt his chances.
Yeah, that's a very uncharacteristic penalty out of that 4.
really is. I mean, we've seen this through our broadcast, Brad, many times, guys losing it on pit road. You never expect to see it from a guy like Bobby Terrell, but everybody's susceptible to the problems of pit road. As we go green here, as the pace car pulls off, and the one of Sean Powell leads him
Green
down.
flag, green flag.
Green's back out. We're back underway here, and this guys looks like they do get away cleanly there. But even the restarts are tricky with these tires.
They really are, especially if you've got anybody in the old tires. We'll see what Powell can do now. How many laps did he have on those tires, Brody?
He had about 6 laps over Scotty, so probably 8 laps total.
So 6 or 8 laps, and you can see it's not affecting them too much at this point, but later in the run it will for certain. Scotty Reinchild there kind of keeping in contact a little better than we've seen on some of these restarts. At 20 of Russell Charnowski sitting in 3rd, and Casey McMullen Sr. sitting in 4th. Be interested to see how he runs this run. He's got several cars behind him here. As he try and save tire, he's going to have to let about 10 guys go.
Yeah, it's
the 42.
sorry, go ahead.
The 42 starting to make moves towards the front too. He's getting by the 8 here. That's for what
the
is
12 almost made contact there. I think that was 12 and the 8 there, getting awful close off the corner.
And I think the 8's probably saving tires. He's probably employing that save tire method too. Ooh, he got turned.
Oh no, the 8. He got hit twice and he's down to the inside wall. Heavy damage. The 81's down there. No caution.
Yeah, that happened off the track, so there won't be a caution here unless, nope, they get it going. So there will be no caution for that.
Wow, what an unfortunate thing. And that's something you just mentioned. It looks like he might be saving tires. You slow up a bit, someone gets into your rear end. Tragedy strikes. So unfortunate for him there.
I don't really know what happened there. I don't know what happened there. It looks like the 51 was to his inside, and he just kind of came down. Maybe he got loose in the corner or something, but kind of came down the 51. 51 tried to avoid him, but just got him there.
You see Zach McDaniel picking off one guy after another. These guys are stacked up behind Casey McMullen. Doesn't want to run completely full out. He doesn't want to get past either. In a precarious spot here. He's got a little gap now, but the 42 is starting to run him down here. I think the 42 was probably saving in earlier runs, and he says he's ready to go now.
42, he did that strategy of short pitting. We know the 71, he's got a much faster long run car, as showed in the last 60 lap segment. I don't expect him to put up too much of a fight, but he's really at a situation where he's got to really decide whether or not he's going to step it up just a little bit. We know we got less than 50 laps to go. You're not necessarily going to need as long, you don't have to keep those tires as long as you did before. So I don't think you're going to, McMullen's just going to pull over and let the 42 by as the 42 dives to the inside.
I'm not sure what happened with the 33 car, but he's showing a lap down here. I was wondering about that with the scoring. I must have got caught off pit sequence there. A very unfortunate 33 of Sherwood Wilford.
Yeah, and he's racing that 12 right in front of him for the lucky dog spot.
That's true. But keep an eye on that too, since it could be important if we get another caution here.
Yeah, it looks like he wants that spot, and rightfully so. That lucky dog so highly important here with 44 laps to go, coming on 43, I think. Now we're on 43 to go here, and caution could come out at any time, especially late in this race, guys. We've seen around lap 30 is when these cars really start to get loose.
Yeah, they really do. And the 24 Scotty Reinschel and our leader, they're kind of trading lap times right now. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens because, as you said, once we get to about lap 30, those tires really start dropping off, and we know the 24's got a little bit faster, or I shouldn't say faster, but a little bit better tires than Sean Powell, so it could really play to his advantage here.
Yeah, it absolutely could. I mean, I think he's in the driver's seat, so to speak. Sean Powell, I can't see him holding on with that much older tires. He was outclassing the field, but my goodness, with 6 laps on those tires, I just think he can't do it. Russell Charnowski also turning great times out here.
Well, our second place driver just chopped 2/10 off the lead, so he's starting to close up a little bit.
Yeah, you can visibly see him moving in now. I think the one's a sit and duck at this point, and he's got to be highly frustrated, but at least it's a teammate of his. I mean, we got Gearhead versus Gearhead here.
Yeah, we'll see if they're button heads before the end of this race. I know Scotty's been trying to chase him down all race, and it's funny you said that the one's a sit and duck. I still think with as fast of the cars he's got, I still think he's probably in the prime position. It's going to be hard to pass here, and I'm sure those cars are pretty similar as far as setup goes, so I think it's going to be a dogfight for sure.
Yeah, we've seen it all night. It's been very difficult to pass. It's usually later in the laps that the guys are really able to make them move as tires start falling off, and that's going to be the interesting thing is actual Powell actually takes a little bit and adds a little bit to his lead that time. That's the one thing that we saw during the earlier segments is Scotty was really able to make up some time and some ground early in the run, but as it went on, he really wasn't able to keep pace with Sean or any of the other competitors. He kind of fell off the back, so it's going to be very interesting to see. Also, you got the 20 of Russell Charneski. He actually was able to keep pace a little bit better than the 24 going throughout the runs. And then, of course, you got Zach McDaniels and Casey McMullen. You know, he's playing the long run, so we're going to have to see what comes up with him.
Right now,
I'll tell you guys,
riding around looking at the 83 of Jason Spear. Really.
The leader's running 31 flat, 31.1 the last couple laps, and Zach McDaniel's been in the 30. He was 30.8, 30.9, another 30.9 there. So he's coming. The question is he running his tires up trying to get there?
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be interesting to see what a Bobby Terrell or a Casey McMullen can do. This guy's notorious tire savers. I know Team Spear's been working on it over there, so I wouldn't be surprised if Brian Helm has something for him. It's going to get interesting, folks. Only 38 to go here, but that's quite a ways yet. As we see David Hensley get to the inside of that 83 of Jason Spear, making a move. So Hensley's on the move. Not sure where his position. Looks like he's in 14th position right now. Probably just took 13th.
Yeah, Hensley on that particular session right there, and in a matter of a straightaway, was able to pass two cars. He was able to get around Tim Bills, one of our early front runners. Unfortunate events. Obviously, he hasn't. He's kind of gone the other way, sat on the outside of the pole, and as well as getting around Jason Spear. So Hensley, you know, a car definitely on the move. I don't know if there's a difference in tire it's there, but he's definitely moving towards the front.
He is, as we look in on the 4 of Bobby Terrell, you know, a 3-time champion in this series, defending champion. He's sitting here in 5th spot, minding his car, taking care of things. He's got Brian Helm right there with him. Looks like behind them is Casey McMullen Sr., so Casey hasn't fallen that far off either. One of these guys has got to have something left towards the end of this race, but they're about 4 or 5 seconds back right now, Brody. I don't know if they're falling off too far or not. So hard to tell.
Yeah, I don't know. Time will tell. But I tell you, Russ is really giving the 24 a fight up front for sure. You got Team Gearhead, I guess, versus Team Willen and Dillon up front. So kind of a team battle going on, or brewing anyway, towards the end of this race.
Yeah, and Zach isn't very far either. He's closing in on those two as well. So this could very well be a 3-car battle for second. And Sean has not been able to run away like he did early in the session. So it's not over yet. Team Gearhead is not necessarily a lock for this win.
Oh, by no means are they. I mean, this Whelan and Dillon team, they know how to get it done too. I mean, 2 versus 2, highly interesting here. As Russell Charnowski, he's been good all night. Kind of been caught in, you know, not great position, get up to the very front, but he's been near the front all night, and this is his chance. I think he can smell it now.
Yeah, and if you look at the two, they're taking completely different lines in this corner, you know. Charneski's running generally a little bit of a higher groove. It looks like they're going a little more similar in 1 and 2, but in 3 and 4, they're taking totally different. Scotty's down at the bottom. Russ is kind of a little bit more running on the top, trying to get a little bit of lower exit, if you will. Try to roll it, where the 24 is having to kind of check it up a little bit to keep it down on the bottom. Is that time you see right there, the 24 goes a little bit high on exit. 20 is able to exit a little bit better and have a little bit straighter drive off, and you know it's going to be very interesting in a couple of laps.
Well, you know, another guy that's kind of cleared the chaos back there now in 5th is Bobby Terrell in the 4. You know, he had that pit issue, but he's kind of worked his way right back up into the top 5. So that's good to see. And I wanted to clarify too, the guys, the 24 and the 20, the 11 and the I forgot the other name. Those guys actually, the front two are actually on phase 2. The phase 2 motorsports is who they are. So got the Gearhead sponsorship, but phase 2 looking to take home a win here.
All right, team phase 2 looking good. They're in phase 2. They're in phase 3 of this race, I'd say. So this is near the end here. We're coming down to 30 to go. Can the one of Sean Powell hold off challenges from Scotty Reinchild, Russell Charnowski, or Zach McDaniel? Can the others, Terrell, Helm, McMullen, Cooper, can these guys save enough tire and make a charge late enough to, with enough time left to catch up? It's all going to play out shortly. As Core and the 8 of Bernard Person, unfortunately, they're going a lap down after that unfortunate accident.
Yeah, it really is. But you know what? Sean Powell in that one, he decided it's time to go. He's turned the wick up. He's stretched his lead out to over a second. And Scotty Ronshield, he's currently running, let's see, at the line. We're going to do a 31.8 for Sean and a 31.8 for Scotty as well. So 31.9 for Russell. So right now, currently, our leader is the fastest car on the track, and he's been able to pull away. I don't know if it's been a matter of the 24 and the 20 battling or just a lack of being able to get around him, because I think Russell needed to really get around and dispatch that 24 to have a shot at it. The way this track has been, it's been kind of a one-groove track with as hot as it is, and he's able to put some distance on everybody now.
Yeah, he really has. As you said, turning up the wick here. Zach McDaniel hangs into this battle too. He's pretty much been the same distance behind. But this is the type of racing we've seen in the first couple runs. This mid part of the race, or early mid part of the run, this is how it plays out. We've got to get a couple more laps in yet. I mean, another 10 laps or so. I mean, I know there won't be much time left at that point, but I look for things to change a little bit at that point.
Yeah, actually, currently the fastest cars on the track is Bobby Terrell in that 4 and Brian Helm in the 26. So our 5th and 6th place cars are going to be the fastest ones, along with Casey McMullen. So you can definitely tell that there was a little bit of tire saving going on in the back of the field. I'm just not sure they're going to have enough time to really get up there and challenge for the win.
Yeah, Brody, with a guy like Sean Powell leading the way, how many tenths can you make up in a lap, even if you did save tires? You're going to be looking at 1 or 2 tenths a lap. You're going to need 20, 30 laps to make it happen. There's just not that much time left.
There's not, but there's one thing you forget. A caution could change everything. I'm not sure who's got tires, if anybody's got tires left. And if you do, boy, would that make a difference here.
I think at this point they all have a set of tires. I'm not sure on that. But I think some have 2.
Yeah, I think the only one that would have to worry about would be Zach McDaniels. He's used 1 set more than everybody else in our top 5, if you will, because he went on that strategy of short pitting. Everybody else, I'm sure, has at least 1 set left.
Yeah, I think it's 1 set for everybody. You're right, and McDaniel is on 0 left.
Well, that would be a shame for him. You don't want to be out there without tires.
Well, it worked out a little bit in stage 2 for doing short pit, and it just wouldn't work out overall. So, and that's kind of the risk we always take, when we're doing something like a short gain. Right now, it's landed him in the 4th position, so he's hoping for it to go green. Scotty Ronshield goes to about a 1.5 seconds, 1.7 back from Sean Powell. Sean Powell's going to extend his lead to almost 2 seconds now. So I look for Bobby Terrell to try to start cutting into the lead of Zach McDaniels, along with Brian Helm and Casey McMullen, as they're all right there together on the track. So it's going to be very interesting, probably another 10 laps to see what they can really do.
We just looked through spots 11 through 20 here, down to Jason Spear here in 12th. You got Tim Bills in 13th. 14th is going to be Ronnie Royal. 15th, Bernard Person, a lap down now. Will Long will be back in 16th. 17th, Sherwood Williford. And 18th, you cannot find, but Jared Garr is in 19th spot. 20th is going to be TJ Bartel, who was having a great race. Unfortunately, I think he's retired from the event, and that's highly unfortunate for TJ Bartel.
Yeah, it looks like he retired early there, had some damage. I think he got into the back of Bernie when he had his issue in turn 1. Probably caused the car to overheat and had to pit for that, and figured at that point that he wasn't going to gain much more.
Absolutely. As we go back up to the front, if we go into the 4th position, it's going to be the 42 of Zach McDaniel, and those older tires are starting to haunt him as he's starting to drop off the pace. The 4 car of Bobby Turrell, Brian Helm, and Casey McMullen, we know they've been saving tires. They're steadily eating into that distance between Zach McDaniel. Another couple of laps, probably 2-3 laps, and they're going to be right on the back of him. So unfortunately, Zach McDaniels is getting probably a little bit to the tight side, and the car's not working as well as it was earlier in this run.
You see the 26 down the track there, kind of losing it out of corner number 2. That's going to allow the 71 of Casey McMullen down to the inside. He'll take that spot up. So Brian Helm having a really solid run there. Just one little blip, that's going to cost him the spot. That'll be 6th spot that Casey McMullen picked up.
And you know what, Casey McMullen does this every race, and it's really fascinating to watch. You know, just playing the patient card. You know, making sure you take care of your equipment, take care of your tires. At the end of the race, you know, he's going to make his way through the field. You know, this is why he's been a front runner in this series for a long time across all the series. He knows how to really take care of his equipment. As you know, he's still running the bottom, and everybody around him is pushing towards the top. You know, the Ford Bobby Terrell, as he's starting to really close into the back of that 42, he's going to be there within the next lap.
Yeah, he really is. But you know, how impressed are you, Brody, with Sean Powell? 6 lap older tires. He's pulled 3.5 seconds almost on 2nd place. Unbelievable job from Sean Powell.
Yeah, I think he just managed his tires up there with those guys back there were battling for 2nd, and was able just to save enough to kind of stay on top of things here and edge back out and get back on his Thursday night drive, I guess. Sunday drive, but on Thursday night.
Well, we've reached that point that I was talking about, so with 18 to go, you know, these tires start to give way. You should see Sean Powell starting to get loose, and we're under caution.
And doesn't that change things?
Boy, does it. Now, anybody notice what car was involved?
33, Williford.
Oh, my goodness.
Took a ride, too. Him and Will Long, it looks like.
And I'll tell you who's going to be the caretaker of this, the 8 of Bernard Person. He's going to be our lucky dog for this one. An unfortunate event earlier. He ran the entire race very well, got involved in that incident. He's going to be our lucky dog, but this is where we're going to have to watch Zach McDaniel. We know that he pitted early. He was the one that was going to take the chance on pitting early. He was the only car to really do so in the top 5. So he will have one less set of tires. I don't know if he's going to be at his maximum amount or not. If he is out of tires, he is a sitting duck.
And he's just watching that wreck. Sherwood Williford, someone has got to warn his family that he might not be coming home.
Well, I think he took the helicopter back to his home. It was what happened there. He just left the track completely there. That's the 2nd time tonight we've seen cars just grab that wall and just go flying. So, yeah, that's got to be a wild ride. Luckily, I know that he doesn't use VR. If he was using VR, I'd be a little concerned about his output, as they say in the hospital.
You know, all joking aside, very unfortunate for the 33, especially with the caution coming out. He might have been the lucky dog. I'm not sure about the positions on the track, but very, very unfortunate. I'm not sure what happened there, him and the 12 getting together. Terrible ending there. But another guy I'm severely concerned for is going to be the 42, stuck on the track with no tires. I mean, this could be really ugly for the 42.
It is, and he's not going to have any grip on the restart. I just, you know, I would tell him right now that he's just not going to have grip. Okay, so you're just going to have to baby it. You can't stomp it. You can't mat it. You can't really get on it that hard. You're going to spin the tires. As bad as these tires have been wearing here, and as slick as the track is, you're going to spin the tires. So just try to manage that as much as possible. Try to get what you can here. But really, I mean, at this point, he's in the same shape Denny Hamlin would have been in had they went back green last night or the night before. Yeah, that was just last night in the Cup race on Wednesday.
Definitely. definitely. The thing about this too is you got to think about where you're starting. So Zach McDaniel going to be starting on the inside row, presumably, and that's going to put Sean Powell on the outside, but he's going to have clear track. The guy in third, the guy with the biggest problem is going to be Scotty Reinchild. He's going to be starting behind that 42 on those old tires. He's going to have nowhere to go. This not only highly dangerous situation for the field, but this is really going to hurt him on the restart, as on the high side, Russell Charnowski is going to be able to get by. Actually, Zach McDaniel down pit road right now, shockingly, maybe just to spare the field having those old tires out front.
Was that a mistake by McDaniel? Did he not miss pit road? Is he coming down just to get a little bit of fuel?
This is a veteran, courteous move by a professional. I love it. The 42 says, I'm not going to be out in front of this field on 30-lap old tires with no shot whatsoever. I'm not going to screw up Scotty Ronchild's chance, Bobby Terrell's chance. Those guys would be behind him. So, class move by Zach McDaniel in the 42.
Yeah, I gotta applaud that too. That would be hard to do. You're sitting there in the lead, you know you don't have a shot, but still, I mean, you don't want to give up all that track position, but you know that that's going to be a hairy situation too. So I definitely, my hat's off to him for doing that too.
Well, here we go. One last restart. We got Powell that's going to be on the inside. Scotty's going to be on the outside. But you know the unknown is going to be that 20 of Russell Charnowski. He's not been able to be on the back of our leader yet. He's the one unknown. He's had good short run speed. The 4-car Bobby Terrell is going to be outside. 71 Casey McMullen's going to be right there. There's no saving tires now. We're going to be taking 137 here. It's going to be let it eat. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens.
That was. Yeah, I think you were probably going to say the same thing. I was going to say, we got 12 laps to go. We really don't know what Bobby has on a short run, what Casey has on a short run. Maybe some of these other guys surprise us too. We don't know how they are on the short run because they've been playing the long run game the whole race. So you may see a little bit different, you know, things may shape up a little bit differently here depending on what these guys actually have on a short run. So, and also keep in mind, they may not know what they have on a short run when they push it that hard either. So you could see some action here, some unwanted action. It may get a little messy too. So things can play out a little bit different.
Absolutely. And you know what? We got teammates on the front row. So there's a lot of gamesmanship always when it comes to these restarts. But you know what? Sean Powell, Scotty Ryan, they're new to the series. And, you know, that might have been able to really work an advantage throughout the entire race. But now you got teammates. You generally have guys that know each other. You know their tendencies. You know when they like to do restarts. So this could be the most contented restart that Sean Powell has all night. So it's going to be very interesting to see who's going to be able to lead coming out of turn 1, or out of turn 2, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm so excited to see what will happen. You know, I couldn't agree more with all the points here. But, you know, Sean Powell, been the class all night. I expect him to really walk out to a lead here. But beyond that, there's going to be a fight. And if anybody can stay with him through corner number 1, you know, he could be able to get him. We haven't seen him have to deal with some dirty air or some traffic. So who knows? We don't know what can happen here.
Well, we're about to find out that pace truck's going to take that hard left turn, and we're going to get ready for green here, coming down to the
green.
start finish line. Green flag's out. 12 laps to go here at Charlotte, and boy, we saw the 83 spin his tires too. It's not easy out there.
And this is a much better start by the field as they hang in. But you can see through corner 1 there, the 20 on the inside of the 24 of Reinchild. Oh, and then they're going to back out of it a bit there. That's going to put Bobby Terrell on the high side. He says, no thank you. He's going to come down low.
Yeah, these guys are pushing now. They're pushing it. They know they've got to go.
And what about the 25 of Terry Cooper Jr. back in here too? He's a short run guy. He's got high speed on these short runs. We'll see what he can do.
Yeah, they're all kind of bunched up here too. It kind of worries me. I was in the same situation with the trucks the other night. One person makes one small move, and you see these guys start battling down the backstretch.
Yeah, we got some blocking going on down here from the 20 of Russell Charnowski blocking the 4 down the back straight. Bobby thinking about putting a bumper to him. You got the 25 and the 71 battling. Those are teammates. Boy, nobody wants to give up any space here.
Yeah, there was a close moment there where we were looking at 3 wide through the triangle, and 25 Terry Cooper Jr. decided to he was going to survive the corner and back out of it a little bit, figured he'd go for the next one. As they still continue to battle all the way down the backstretch, Terry Cooper Jr. to the inside of the 26 of Helm.
Yeah, Terry Cooper looking hooked up here as he goes down the inside here. 26 going to hold him door by door, side by side. They come to the line, and 26 will hold that spot for now.
Yeah, now you got to have a battle for second. Yep, battle for second as the 24 kind of washes out. The 20's going to look to the inside, nothing there. He'll close that door down the backstretch. He's going to have to try to find another way around.
Yeah, it is not easy to pass. This is all music to the ears.
The 25 and the 26, I think, just touched, and there they're rubbing doors, and then there goes the 26 up the track.
26 is going to lose a ton of positions, unfortunately, in that instance where he's going to fall back to 12th position.
Yeah, very unfortunate there. Didn't catch that one on the TV, but a little contact there, and the 26 is going to pay the price on that one. As Bobby's still looking to the inside, Russell will not relent any position there. I don't blame him. It's hard racing at the end here. He's looking to get the second, not to give up third.
Well, guys, this is the battle to talk to you guys. That's what they want to do. They want to be able to talk to you.
And
as Bobby's going to look to the inside. Yeah, he's finally got the inside lane there.
Yeah, he pretty much just muscled his way there.
As they ride around 1 and 2 here, out of 2, Bobby Terrell on the low side, finally getting position. I think he's got something, Bobby. He just needed to get a little space here. He should be able to get through here. Oh, and he rides up the track a little bit. Just squeaks on by. Put the 4 of Bobby Terrell, last season's winner, up to 3rd place.
Well, he's got 7 laps to work on the second place guy, and he's actually there. Wow, Bobby's got some speed.
Does he ever?
That 24 on exit, he really yawed that car out and he had to really back out of it because I don't think he's got the exit speed that the 1 car has. On 4, he's always getting a little bit tight. I don't know if he's just going in and not getting his entry correct or whatnot. But on the exit, you see the back end of that car really wanting to step out, and that's where the 4 is really able to make up a lot of time and get a little bit of extra speed down the front stretch here.
Something
you're right.
I'm noticing too, look at the speed Bobby Terrell's got. The other thing I was going to say is Bobby heavily taped up. Is that why he's looking down the inside even on the straightaways? He's looking for 2nd place now.
I don't know, but he's definitely got an advantage down the straight, off the corners, down the straightaways for sure.
I gotta think he's got a ton of tape on there. Just from what I've seen on his straightaways, I thought maybe Russell was blocking him, but perhaps Bobby just getting down there trying to get fresh air. You see him come out of 3 and 4, guys. Bobby Terrell probably 2-3 miles an hour faster than Scotty Reinchild coming to the line. Just amazing amount of speed.
Yeah, this is a great battle, but you know what? Our leader is loving this. The 1 in Sean Powell. A little bit over 2-second lead right now with just a few laps to go, so he's really loving this battle. Behind us looks like the 4 car, Bobby Terrell's kind of stalled out. I don't know if maybe the temperatures are getting a little bit hot, if he did put a little bit of extra tape on that, or he's just kind of cooked those tires, as he's going to mount another challenge at the 24 going into 1 and 2.
24 was sideways coming out of the corner.
One thing I see Bobby doing too is a late apex, a late entry into the corner is really helping his exit speed. He's getting in the corner and not really turning down as soon as the 24, as he's going to turn down a little bit soon here, trying to look to the inside.
Yeah, you can see him. We're riding along in Bobby Terrell's cockpit here, and you can really tell the different strategies here as the 24 of Reinchild doing everything to hold the position. That's what you got to do, get in a little harder, hold that spot. But Bobby getting that exit speed, he might get him here as he's got a nice run coming through the corner. He's going to look to the inside here.
He does. He looks to the inside and has got the position going into 3. Going to go inside and wash up the track. A little bit of contact.
And that was close. That's going to bring the 20 into this battle. We're coming down to 2 to go. This is Sean Powell's race, but the race here for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th is heating up.
Yeah, it's going to be a battle to the wire, I think. These guys are going to do everything they can. You see Bobby's going to try to back up, get this run off too, and he does have a run, just not too much. As you see the 20.
Caution, my God, caution on the track.
Ooh.
Behind him, it's going to be the 11s involved. The 77 and Tim Bills.
So we'll get a quick look here at the 7 or the 11 and the 26 going through the corner, and he's going to hit Brian Helm up the track, and several cars are going to get collected there. We'll get another look at this. It looks like a little bit of both, a little coming up, a little coming down, one of those racing deals. There's several cars there, the 77 heavily hurt, the 11's hurt.
I think we're pretty much even on tires. I don't think anybody was saving during that particular session, so I don't think tires is going to be the issue on this restart. It's just going to be able to, who's going to really be able to get hooked up and get away.
Does anybody have tires?
That was my question. I don't know that anybody has
Don't
tires.
think they do.
And does
Looks
anybody else? Someone's coming or faking.
So-
We got a
they're-
lot of fakers.
If Zach McDaniels didn't have tires in the last stop, nobody else would.
One guy looks like coming down pit road late from the field. Not sure he
Bernard.
has tires.
Yeah, Bernard Person there on pit road, the 8 car. I don't know. Don't know if he's got tires or not. He is the last car on the lead lap, so
He
We'll
could
see if
be
he
just
takes
getting
tires.
some more damage fixed. It's hard to tell.
well, if he took the wave around, then he's probably got a set. Let's see if he does change tires here.
Yeah, we'll stick with him in the pits. Nothing going. Oh, the
Oh.
right sides are up.
There you go. So he
So
does.
not much time, but he could certainly wreak some havoc and make up a bunch of spots here, as we're going to be
Yeah.
on a green-white checker.
He's going to start 15th.
I wouldn't be
Uh,
surprised if he can get some clean racing space that he could make his way in the top 10 here.
Top 10, yes.
As he's still there, he's getting some damage fixed apparently at this point, but he's down and away now. So he took tires. Well, that'd be interesting to know. I mean, I certainly believe he must have had a set left. You think he got a wave around during that one caution, Brody?
I don't know if he got a way around or was the lucky dog maybe for that one caution. I don't know. Somewhere he saved some tires.
Yeah, the last caution, he was the wave by, so he did get the lucky dog. Now, the real question is going to be how many attempts at this green-white checker do we get? Because we all know cautions breed cautions, especially when we're talking about old tires at a very hot racetrack going for the win.
Well, Brody is the man on that, and I can tell you we do one green-white checker here at Full Throttle Sim Racing, unless that's been changed for this season.
Nope, you got one attempt. We're going to give the guys one attempt to do it clean, and we're not going to tear up any more cars. so you get it done the first time, or the caution, if caution comes out, race is over, and we go on.
I really want to see what this 4 car is going to do. Bobby Trail is going to be right on the back of Sean Powell. Bobby Trail, a very cagey veteran here at Full Throttle Sim Racing. He's going to be able to let everything out. We saw just how fast he was right on the back of Scotty Reinshield. I expect him to really be on the back, possibly pushing Sean Powell down the straightaway to take the lead, to take the green flag and not let Scotty down.
Once again, folks, this series sponsored by Gearhead Coffee, and the winner will get a bag of coffee, of course, the one of Sean Powell, already winning one, given to him by FTSR here as a promotional deal in this first race. The halfway leader would get a bag. So if he wins this race, our second place car will win a bag of coffee, and you can use that code that is on the screen right now to get 10% off there. Really good coffee, really cool bags, man. I love the bags maybe more than the coffee.
Yeah, maybe you get you some bags, maybe pour the coffee. No, don't pour the coffee out. It's too good to pour out. But you decorate with the bags.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I want the bag. I want a poster of the bag just to hang in my race room. I mean, that is a beautiful bag.
I will say they have stickers, they have shirts, they have mugs. They've got a lot of different things as far as the logo goes. They've got a lot of different things. They got gift packs too that you can get on the website. So definitely check them out if you like what you see there. I love the colors. I told the guys the black and the orange look really good. It's kind of similar to our other sponsor, Blackwater. But it looks really cool. It looks really cool in the packaging, and they've got some great flavors too. It's not just the looks. They got some really good coffee.
Just so that people know, all those other flavors, I think there's about 8 or 10 of them, and they're all designed differently on the bag. All extremely cool.
Yeah, and they got one Texas pecan roast. I want to try that. That sounds really interesting. Sounds really good.
Sounds
Yeah.
too exotic for me.
It sounds like it's a lot of high octane, which is exactly what we got going on in this racetrack right now. It's just only fitting that the two Gearhead coffee cars are in the front. They're a little bit jacked up, not necessarily on Mountain Dew, but definitely on that coffee. So it's going to be interesting to see if Bobby Trello and Russell Chinesky has anything for him on this restart.
Well, let's hope that Bobby doesn't spill their coffee here, because he's going to be coming. He's going to try really hard here. Bobby's going to give it everything he's got. It looked pretty fast there towards the end. Looked like he was at least faster than the 24, just couldn't find a way around. We'll see if this kind of helps that. We're going to see. One green, white checkered here. One thing, 3 laps to finish this one out.
Green flag.
All right, we're under green. The one of Sean Powell down and away. Great start from Reinschel on the outside. Bobby Terrell already showing speed. Getting right up here.
Down.
Spears down low. Something happened to him. And we got 1, 2, 3. And Reinschel's going to take the lead here.
Yeah, Reinschel's out front. The question is for how long? And if a caution comes out, this could change things too. A little bump down the straightaway.
You can see Bobby Terrell putting that nose out there again. I'm telling you, he's taped up. He's ready to go. As we come down to the line here, it's on 1 to go. The 2 teammates, Reinschel down low, Powell looking up high. Bobby Terrell's trying to stick his nose in here.
Side by side through 1 and 2. You got Reinschel on the bottom. You got Powell on the top. And it's been Powell all race, but Reinschel's going to have the track position. You're going to have the line, I think, that you want to have. And here comes the 4 with Terrell. I thought he was going to stick it in there.
He was looking 3 wide. Reinschel washing up the track. Powell getting a run on the high side. Going to take this lead back. Sean Powell in the 1 car. Going to be our winner here in the initial race in the Gearhead Coffee Grand National Series here from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Wow, what a finish we had, guys.
That was crazy. Those guys did a good job of controlling these cars. Not only on the restarts, but all the way through the 2 laps there. Wow.
Super exciting. Powell taking it on the high side. And again, he had 6-lap older tires than those guys, so really impressive from Sean Powell. What a debut here at Full Throttle Sim Racing. Brad, we had a little bit of everything. Lots of strategy, lots of speed, and a highly entertaining finish.
Oh, we really did. It paid for itself in the last 3 laps. I mean, it was such a close battle. One of the closest finishes outside of super speedways. I mean, it really had everything. Strategy, cautions, tire rules. I mean, this is exactly what FTSR is built on.
It is, man. It's so exciting a race there. Sean Powell, part of Phase 2 Racing, and second place is going to go to Reinschel, part of Phase 2 as well. And why don't we get right into that right now? Let's get to our results of this race. Sean Powell in the 1, our race winner. Teammate Scotty Reinschel in the 24 will be second. Bobby Terrell with a little more laps might have been able to do something. Last year's season winner. He'll take home 3rd. Russell Czernowski in the 20 will be 4th. Casey McMullen Sr. in the 71 will be 5th. The 81 of Ronnie Royal will be 6th place. Terry Cooper Jr. in the 25 takes home 7th. 8th is the 26 of Brian Helm. Tracy Powers and Bernard Person round out your top 10.
11th is going to be the 43 of David Hensley. 12th is going to be Matthew Geringer. 13th is going to be the Mickey Spear, followed by Jason Spear in 14th. 15th is going to be Zach McDaniels. A little bit better part of value there. Dropped out while leading. Didn't have any more tires, but very respectable. Tim Bills, one of our early front runners, is going to come home 16th. 17th will be Jared Carr. 18th William Long. 19th Sherwood Williford. TJ Bartell is going to be in 20th. Rounding out our field is going to be Brad Fink, Stephen Loomis, Brian Bliss, Christian Swanson, Daryl Spear, James Torrey.
All right, there you have it, the finishing order. I mean, we had some guys with some bad luck, like a Bernard Person. We had several Other guys move forward, maybe Casey McMullen. Ronnie Royal were kind of quiet from the broadcast booth tonight, but coming home sixth. I mean, great race all in all. It has everything that we love here at FTSR, Brad. You know, we had comers and goers. We had a dominant car in Sean Powell, so maybe a dominant team there with phase two. But we had a lot of other things at play here, and cautions kind of changed the whole complexion of the race. So as we watch in slow motion, these guys doing spins in synchronicity here.
Yeah, we really did. Tonight, as much as it was about a dominating performance from Sean Powell, it was a statement from a new team coming into this series. They're saying that they're here to play, they're here to challenge for the championship. We had the four: Bobby Terrell, Russell Charneski, Casey McMullen, front runners that we expect to be there. Ronnie Roll, Terry Cooper Jr. Tonight the gauntlet was laid, and everybody knows that, hey, you better be on your A game when you come here next week, because you're going to be in for a fight every week in the series.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. This series is so highly competitive, man. I mean, you are going to be in a fight every week, and some of these guys just realize they're going to have work to do because it's not easy out here. I mean, we already had improving teams. We had teams like Blackwater that were doing good for a while. We had Spear who looked dominant, lately. Now we've got Phase 2. We've got wheeling and dealing. I mean, this league, man, is nothing comes easy here.
It really doesn't. It's going to be a test of time. You can have a dominating race, but ultimately, what's going to happen is the team that finishes the best throughout the entire season and works the best. I believe you're standing by with our third place finisher.
Yeah, I got Bobby Terrell here. What a great finish, Bobby. We were watching you. Talk a little bit about the end of the race. I mean, it looked to me like maybe you were heavily taped up, poking your nose to get some air. I don't know if you were looking for racing room or trying to cool the car down.
I was looking for racing room, I guess you'd say. I didn't tape it. I think I added maybe one or two pieces. I didn't tape it up very much. It was already running, I guess, a little bit warm, not bad, but I don't have the setup, so Sean definitely had the setup. There's no doubt about it. And like I said, Scotty, yeah, I don't know if they're teammates or not, but he may have had the same set. I don't know.
Well, they definitely had something, there's no doubt about it, but don't discredit their driving ability. Two high quality drivers as well. And you are in third place. You had a hell of a run. But, we were watching. So saying that your car wasn't taped up, we seen, the with about 14 to go or whatever, we had a caution somewhere in there, a restart. And you're coming in there and you're looking for racing room because you're not going to go all out on these really long runs at the early part, but here late in the race you're gonna. And you were having a hard time with the 20. Talk a little bit about you and the 20 battle in there.
Yeah, me and Russ, we had a good battle there. Uh, I finally got a run on him coming off the corner. And like I said, I think I could have got Scotty maybe. I didn't have anything for Sean at all. Like I said, and my car was definitely a little better, I think, on the long run. Uh, Nothing for Sean, but Scotty, I called him one time, and I'm sure he was changing. I'm sure he adjusted on his cars, so he kind of pulled away there at the end. But I was trying to think. I knew we were going to have to pit, and I was trying in my head to think of what can I do to make it better, you know. But it is what it is.
Well, Bobby, you are three-time champion in the Xfinity Series. A third place finish to open up this brand new series with Gearhead Coffee, the Grand National Series. I mean, I know I can hear the disappointment in your voice, but you can't overall be too disappointed. Third place sets you up for yet another championship run.
Yeah, it's a long season. Anything can happen. Like I said, anything can happen. It's a lot of racing left, and just like the pit strategy tonight. I thought I was really messed up when I got behind, but then I got the lucky dog, so that put me back up there. But I had to start at the back and work my way up to the front. And like I said, overall, good race.
All right, man. Bobby, you want to give any shout outs? Now's the time, brother.
I'd like to thank Full Throttle for doing this, Gearhead Coffee for, sponsoring the series,
Brad.
giving us a place to race. You guys up in the booth, you do an outstanding job. I mean, I've listened to it. It's awesome.
All right, Brad. That's Bobby Terrell, our second place finisher. What a great job by him. I believe you're with Scotty Reinchild. You can correct me on the last name, Scotty.
Yeah, I really am. I'm with Scotty Ronshield, and he's our second place finisher tonight. Scotty, we saw all night Sean had a dominating performance. Your teammate over there, Phase One Motorsports, but you know what? It wasn't exactly the same thing for you. You qualified eighth a little bit further back. You had a night where you had to really work your way through the field. Could you just kind of walk us through how your night progressed?
Oh, sure. Yeah, it was a up and down night for me. I've run a couple races here this week, and but we haven't run on this hot of a track temperature. We've seen it go up to like 128, and that kind of threw me off. The first run, I got really loose. I lost drive off and got passed up by a few guys. But we did get a caution there and was able to make some pit stop adjustments that got it back under control. And the second run was a pretty long run, and I felt really competitive with everybody but Sean. But and then towards the end of the race, those short runs, I mean, there was several guys that were really quick short run into the middle, and like Bobby and Russell, those guys, I mean, I really had to race them hard, and I feel a little bit bad. This is my first time with this league, and didn't really want to have to race people that hard right away, but it seemed like everybody was pretty respectful and made it a lot of fun. It was really exciting, the last 20 laps or so.
Yeah, you'll find here at FTSR, all the drivers are really respectful, and they're going to give you the room to race. You lined up with that last caution, the green-white checkered. You lined up right next to your teammate. You were able to actually clear him, and you were actually able to lead one of the laps. And we thought that you might be able to hold it off, but going into the last couple of corners, what were you thinking? Was there anything that you would do different to possibly hold Sean back?
I mean, probably would have raced out a little different if it wasn't my teammate. The only reason I got in front of him on that restart is because he spun the tires there a little bit, and I was able to get a good jump and clear him into turn one. And we were on older tires, and I was a little bit loose there, and I was a little when he got to my outside, I knew it was going to be close, and he was faster all night, so it was just a good last lap there. I mean, him able to pass me on the outside there was impressive, and I mean, he deserved it for sure.
Yeah, I mean, he was a dominant car all night, but you will find here at FTSR with the tire rule, it actually gives a much more emphasis on strategy, being able to play it out, where at the end of that race, unfortunately you weren't able to come down and get any tires or anything because of that. That's a whole new complexity to the race. But obviously, you and Sean didn't have any problems tonight. Phase One Motorsports did really great tonight. You guys were both carrying the Gearhead coffee on your car. I'm just going to leave it up to you and give you a few moments just to thank anybody you need to thank. And outside of that, congratulations on your second place finish.
Oh, great, man. Thanks. Yeah, I mean, I'd really like to thank you guys for doing the broadcast. I know my family's watching and enjoyed it, and it's always fun when they can kind of be a part and see what I do, wasting time away in the basement. But overall, thanks to our team, for putting together a good car, and for Gearhead for sponsoring the series and supporting us, and for you guys and Brody putting on the league. It was a lot of fun. I look forward to it week to week here.
Well, we look forward to having you for the rest of the season. Dean, that's Scotty Ronshield. He was our second place finisher. I believe you're standing by with our winner tonight.
Yeah, I got Sean Powell here, the class of the field tonight, a race winner here at Charlotte for the 225 in the Gearhead Grand National Series. Congratulations, Sean Powell.
Yeah, man, had a good piece tonight, man. Short run, mid run, long run, whenever I wanted it. So. But
Damn, did you ever, Sean? She came out of the gate fast and she held on fast.
Yeah, Scotty gave me a run to the end right there for sure, man. I spun my tires like a a rookie, and I just have to put in full sim mode.
Well, you did a great job of it, man. We thought you kind of lost it there because getting behind someone with only one to go, but you managed to make that car work on the high side, something we hadn't seen tonight. Talk a little bit about how slick this track was tonight, man. At these temps at like 122, 124.
Yeah, man, it was hot. I know I was my software I used was saying 128 at one point. It was just getting slicker and slicker as we went. And regardless of what the tire wear was, the right front was burning off more than the right rear, but it was still loose. I figured the outside maybe would come in due to that. I didn't really try it. I was going to try it with like 2 laps ago, or the last lap or something before that caution, but had a chance to do that until the last lap after the restart. But it worked out good enough, man.
So give us our initial thoughts. I mean, it worked out great, by the way. But give us our thoughts here of your first race here at FTSR. Now, you've seen that there's mostly a green flag racing league. You got the tire rule, lots of strategy. You've seen some guys, if you're paying attention to the relatives of that, some comers and goers and all that. It's a great league over here from our opinion. I'd like to know what you think of it.
Oh, yeah, I like it, man. Pretty competitive. And the main reason why I want to come up here for was just green flag racing. The official race is just terrible nowadays. But yeah, it's a good league overall, man. I'm looking forward to it next couple of weeks. I'm sure it won't be that easy every week. I hit it on the set this week pretty good, but
yeah, I mean, we got guys out here. You got Team Spear, you got Blackwater, you got Wheeling and Dealing. You dealt with some of these guys tonight. And these guys work on them, so I'm sure they're going to get up there and up their game to compete with you guys now. But what a dominating performance, man! Outlasting your teammate. Phase 2 Racing just putting on a show here, coming home first, second. Congratulations to you, Sean, and just give a shout out to anybody you'd like to shout out, man.
Thanks, man. I want to give a shout out to Gearhead for sponsoring my team, and not only my team, the league and stuff. We're getting broadcasted, and I want to give a shout out to just everybody at Phase 2 that helps out, and with everything, not just with the setup, just with marketing and stuff like that. And that's about it, man. And thanks for y'all for broadcasting and commentating.
Oh, you bet, Sean, man. We couldn't be happier to do it for everybody and to see you win out there, man. Truly, what a great performance. Congratulations on your first race. We look forward to seeing you the rest of the way, man.
Thanks, man. You have a nice night.
All right, Brad. Sean Powell, man. What a performance tonight.
Oh, man, he really did. He did a great job all night. I mean, dominant car. Started from the pole, led the majority of the laps. Checked out. Seemed like he was a little bit vulnerable there towards the middle. A couple cautions came out where some of the guys that was going for the long run maybe playing a little bit of strategy. Unfortunately, that wasn't able to go through fruition, if you will. But it's going to be interesting. They've really laid down the gauntlet. Phase 1 Motorsports is here. Sean Powell, Scotty Ranchett, they've said, hey, we're here to play. And, I'm looking forward to next week to see what exactly the rest of these guys, how they can answer that bell.
Oh, no doubt. The guys are immediately to work. I imagine they're on the track already working.
Oh, yeah, they're already practicing.
Oh, my God. And it's going to be so tough here. It just gets tougher and tougher every year. The quality of racing has always remained the same. Guys are respectful. It's a little harder racing these days, a little more aggression. The speed is amping up, but the same level of respect from everybody has continued. And, I really look forward to it, man. I can't wait to get in the car myself, Brad. I'm sure you're chomping at the bit as well.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, it's only a matter of time, I think, before everybody's going to be really ready to go. I mean, you see great races like this. You see great competition with great drivers. And, the only thing you can want to do is don the helmet yourself and go out there. And, I'm going to be, as well as you, of course, we're going to be racing on Monday nights in the Cup Series. But right now our focus is on this series. So it's going to be a great season. A lot of gauntlets are going to be laid down, and it's going to be interesting to see these guys really respond.
Yeah, it really is. And, I want to thank Brody Hanna from FTSR joining us in the booth for this race. Did a great job up here. He's done a great job with this league. I want to thank, Gearhead Coffee for sponsoring this Grand National Series here with the Xfinity car. We love to have them on board, and we're gonna have them here. We're gonna broadcast every Thursday night at 9 p.m. this entire 12 race series. It should be a good one. Please come out and support us every week. We also got the Wednesday nights. We got the truck with Blackwater Products USA sponsoring that series. Great bunch of guys over there as well. I mean, highly competitive series. Come and check us out. But for tonight, for myself, Dean Doucette, and for Brad Patterson, that's going to wrap it up. And we'll see you next Wednesday night in the Truck Series and next Thursday right here for the Gearhead Coffee Grand National Series.